God bless.
Thank you very much, Pennsylvania. Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be back in this beautiful Commonwealth with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. That's what you are. And when I look at this crowd and I look at the crowd outside, and we stopped a couple of places and nobody's ever seen anything like it. You know, let me tell you, they have us up in the polls, as you know, in Pennsylvania and all over the place, actually. But when they say we're 3 points up or 4, there's no way. It's got to be a hell of a lot more than that. It has to be. It has to. You know, polls are fake also, just like these people, the fake news. They just... We prove that. We prove that a lot. Well, I just want to thank you. We're here today because early voting begins in Pennsylvania over the next 2 weeks. And we need each and every one of you to go out. Just don't take anything for granted. We have to win Pennsylvania. Go out and make a plan to vote early, vote absentee, or vote in person on election day. But you got to get out and vote. You got to say to your husband, Harry, get the hell off that couch. We can't take any chances because our nation is at stake. Our nation is going to hell. What they've done to our country at the border with inflation, with that Afghanistan nightmare that was the most embarrassing day probably in the history of our country, the way they did that. Getting out was fine, but you get out with dignity and strength. What they did was so bad. When you look at October 7th in Israel, it would have never happened. And you look at the Russian attack of Ukraine, would have never, ever happened, not even a thought of it. Think of it. Think of how different this world would have been. Think of how different this country would have been, our country, which is just going so bad. It's so bad. Millions and millions of people are pouring into our country, and they come from jails. They come from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're terrorists at a level that nobody's ever seen before, and they let them come in. And you have the border czar, this person that can't even speak. She can't ask a question. She can't answer a question from... Now she gets out. Oprah Winfrey, who I used to know well, she used to love me
no time.
until I decided to run for politics.
We're going to go over that as well.
Let's go to Mar-a-Lago, Donald. I love the place so much. You know, she used to love me, but once I ran for politics, that was the end of that, and that was okay with me. I couldn't care less because we got to make our country great again. Got to make it great again, greater than ever before. But Oprah would ask just a simple question, and you get this crazy answer, or you don't get any answer. Just, this is not a president. We had 4 years of this. We're not going to have 4 more years. We won't survive it. I also want you to promise to find at least one voter and get them out to the polls. Find these people. There's so many people. If everybody votes, you know, it's interesting. Christians, we got to get the Christians to vote. You know, I don't know what it is. Relatively, they don't vote a lot. They go to church and they love church, and that's great, but we got to get Christians, evangelicals, we have to get them out to vote. We have to get gun owners. You know, gun owners don't vote. They don't vote. We have to get them out. The NRA gave me their total endorsement they have every time, total, complete endorsement, but they vote at levels that are very low. You know what it is? It's probably rebellion. They're rebelling. But there's nothing to rebel about. You have to get out. If we had Christians voting in full strength, we couldn't lose. If we had the gun owners voting at full strength, we couldn't lose. We have to get gun owners because your guns are under siege. She wants to take your guns away. Our entire nation is counting on the people of this great commonwealth, and I know you will not let us down. You're not going to let us down. We got to get out and vote. You can start right away. You know that, right? Now we have this stupid stuff where you can vote 45 days early. I wonder what the hell happens during that 45. Let's move see these votes? We've got about 1 million votes in there. Let's move them. We're fixing the air conditioner in the room, right? No, it's terrible. What happened the last time was disgraceful, including right here. But we're not going to let it happen again. Too big to rig, right? That's one way you do it. Can't let it happen. We got to take our country back from these horrible people, because if we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. It's very simple. Right, Lee? 43 days from now. 43 days we've been waiting for. 4 years. 4 years. We had people that were so incompetent. They were the most incompetent leaders in the whole world. And she is worse than Sleepy Joe Biden. She's worse. She's worse. 43 days from now, we're going to win Pennsylvania and take our country back, and we're going to be so happy. And it'll be the most important day and the most important vote in the history of our country, because we're losing our country. I mean, somebody I heard the other day, pretty smart person, and you think about it, and it could be true. They said, if we don't win this election, there may never be another election in this country. It could happen. Look at Venezuela. Venezuela was the most prosperous country, and now you take a look. And can you believe these stupid people are buying oil from Venezuela? From Venezuela, who was our enemy. They foreclosed on his airplane, a crappy old airplane. But they're giving him billions of dollars for oil. It's not oil, it's tar. It's the worst. And you know, for the environmentalists, you know where they cure the tar? Where they take the tar and they make it into beautiful oil? Houston, Texas, and it all goes flying up in the air. You got to look into that one for all of you wonderful people that talk about the environment like I do, like many of the people in this room do. But they do it. The oil refinery it's the only one that can do it, because it literally is tar. It's not good stuff. We have the best stuff, and we have the most. We have more liquid gold under our feet, and we're buying oil from Venezuela. We don't need it at all. It's crazy. These people are crazy. What a nice-looking man. Who is that? Oh, that's Trump. What a wonderful-looking person. I'm just checking out the hairstyle as I'm talking. I don't know. Yeah. No, I'm checking, I'm talking, I'm looking up, I'm saying, I don't love it. Yeah, everyone don't love it. What the hell can you do? There's nothing I can do about it, right? We're stuck with it. Kamala Harris is reportedly giving a speech in Pittsburgh. You know, her speeches are very short. About her plan to, quote, build wealth. She doesn't know anything about building wealth. But she's been in office for 3.5 years. She's saying what she's going to do if she becomes president. But she's been there almost 4 years. She hasn't done anything except destroy our country with millions of people that shouldn't be here. And inflation. And inflation. What the damage that Sleepy Joe, you know, I'm tending to call him Sleepy Joe lately because I called him Crooked Joe. But now he's not like, is he, who's our president? We don't even have, do we have a president? Why doesn't he leave? Why doesn't he leave? Now think of it. Think of it. I call him Crooked Joe. That was very effective. It got him out of the race. I mean, guess what? No, we had a debate, and he didn't do too well in that debate. And they came to him and they said, you're down 21 points and you're going to lose. This can only happen to me. So I end up with somebody new. But here's the thing. All I have to do is expose her for what she is. She's a communist, okay? She's a communist. And this country is not ready for a communist and hopefully never will be, because that doesn't work. Kamala talks about all these things that she's going to do, but she's been here. Think of it. She's been here for almost 4 years and she's not done anything. I will do this. I will do that. I will do that. What the hell? She could do them today. You know, they talk about the border. Oh, we have a plan for the border. I didn't have any help. I had a very hostile Congress. And what I did is I said, close the border to the Border Patrol. They're great. And the border was closed. We had the safest border in the history of our country. We had, and that border was a mess. You know, in 2016, I think I won maybe because of the border. The border was very bad. And in 2020, I couldn't talk about the border because there was no problem. My people, my geniuses back there, they all said, sir, you can't really talk about the border. There's no problem. I said, well, I want to at least talk about it. I fix it. They said, people don't care, sir. They don't care. So I didn't talk about the border, but we did get millions of more votes. If you remember 2020, we got millions more votes. Millions. Look at that guy with a rug on over there. Look at him. Look at that handsome guy. You look good. He looks good. But we got millions more votes. But I'll tell you what, and we've been all over Pennsylvania today. 2016 or 2020, we never had the enthusiasm that we have right now. Look at this. Look at this. And the reason is because they're so bad. You know, we never had anything to compare it to. They're so bad. 4 years of destroying our country. We don't have a great country anymore. Remember, I had CAG, Keep America Great. But I couldn't use it because I said, America's not great. I hate to say it, but America soon will be greater than ever before. You watch. We got to win the election. We got to win the election. And I can't call her Harris either. You know, Harris, when I say Harris, nobody knows. Does that make sense? I say, and when Harris, everyone says, who's Harris? Nobody knows this person. No, they don't know her by the name Harris. They know her Kamala. It's strange. The name Harris. And when Harris, and people say, who is that Harris? Nobody knows who the hell I'm talking about. You know that? Lee, nobody knows. You're a good lawyer. Maybe we have to change your name. You know, but nobody knows a nice name, Harris. I know some people named Harris. They're nice people. She happens to be not a nice person. She happens to be a person that's destroyed everything she's ever touched. Kamala's ruinous economic policies have already cost the typical household $29,000 through rampant inflation, $29,000 per household. She's a one-woman economic wrecking ball, and if she gets 4 more years, her radical agenda will smash the economy into rubble and grind your financial situation right into the dust. You can't have it. You can't have it. We've had it. We've had it. the guy is incompetent, and she's incompetent also. She had the other interview with the other guy, who was a nice guy, I think, from Philadelphia, from Pennsylvania. And he was a nice guy who was asking her all these, they don't take like I do. Anybody who wants to go, go. What the hell difference does it make? They have, and how dishonest was ABC? It was 3-on-1. How about this David Muir and the other woman? I never heard of her. I didn't know. How the hell did she get there? I never heard of her. But David Muir, when I say crime numbers are rising, he interrupts me, kept interrupting.
Don, come on, Liz Davis been at ABC
we have,
for a good minute.
We have it by fact that
is.
crime numbers are going down. I said, anybody that thinks crime is going down is a serious brain problem. And then it got announced the following day that Trump was right, that crime was up 45%. How about them? And I thought she was terrible in the debate. She didn't answer any questions. All she did is tell lies. Bloodbath. She talked about Charlottesville. All these things were all, I hate the word debunked, but it says it. They were all debunked, every one of them. And people said it. Well, the radical left didn't say it, but they've all been fully debunked. All she did was tell lies. But when it came time to ask a question like, what are you going to do about inflation? What are you going to do about keeping taxes low? She was unable to even talk. But the one on Oprah was the worst one, in my opinion. Oprah wanted to climb under the table. It was so embarrassing. She couldn't answer the simplest question. So vote Trump and your incomes will soar, your net worth will skyrocket, your energy costs and grocery prices will come tumbling down, and we will bring back the American dream, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. The American dream. We don't talk about the American dream anymore, you know that? Mr. Congressman, what a great congressman. I'm going to introduce you guys, but what a good warrior you are. Thank you. We don't talk about the American dream, right? Anymore. We used to talk about it all the time. Today, they don't talk about it. Don't lose hope. We have to have hope. Don't lose hope. Our country's an embarrassment. The whole world is laughing at us. We're going to be stronger. They weren't laughing at us 4 years ago. They were not unhappy to see me head off. And they said, thank goodness we'll never have to see him or deal with him again. You know, China had to pay $472 billion in tariffs. No other president took in 10 cents from China. Not 10 cents. No president took in 10 cents. And remember this, and I just say this, if you look at Ukraine and Russia, but you know, they say Russia. I stopped the Russian pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody ever heard of it until I came along. I stopped the biggest economic development job, the biggest job they've ever done. I stopped it cold. When Biden came in, he let them build, but he killed our Keystone pipeline, which we needed. He killed Keystone, so he killed, but think of it. And remember this about Russia. Under Bush, they took a lot. Under Biden and Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? Barack Hussein, a lot of people say he's actually running the country right now. I don't think so. I don't think so. But some people say he's running our country. But I don't think it's Biden. Under Barack Hussein Obama, they took a lot, right? Under Biden, they're taking everything. They're taking everything. This is Russia. They're taking everything. I mean, Ukraine is destroyed. It's destroyed. You know, they could have made a deal. And you didn't even have to make a deal. Putin was never going in if I were president. But even if he did, you could have made a deal. Now the whole place is destroyed. The cities are knocked down. Millions of people are dead. Far more people are dead than anybody knows. Far more people. When you see those cities get knocked down and they say 2 people are injured, it's all a lot of fake news, I'll tell you. The people are dead, millions of people. And now the whole place has been, the cities have been knocked down, the whole place. They could have made a deal 3 years ago and everything would be happy, vibrant. Their heritage wouldn't have been broken. Those beautiful golden towers are taken down, all of those beautiful ancient towers. are rubble on the ground now. I mean, any deal they make, what's the deal? They have to go back. They'll take 100 years to rebuild, and you can never rebuild it like it was. That should have never happened. It would have never happened if I was president. And you know what? It didn't happen. And even radical left lunatic Democrats say, I will say, if Trump was president, it wouldn't have happened. Putin would have never done it. I said, don't do it, Vladimir. Don't even think. We're not going to do it, Vladimir. I said, Vladimir, we're not going to do that, Vladimir. And China, I had the same almost identical conversation with President Xi of China. Don't go in. Don't go in. He's got planes circling Taiwan. They're circling. He wants that so badly. And Vladimir wanted it badly. That was the apple of his eye. Ukraine was the apple of his eye. But I said, don't do it. He would have never gone in. Would have never happened. All these things would have never happened. But Ukraine now, I see Zelensky is here. I think Zelensky is the greatest salesman in history. Every time he comes into the country, he walks away with $60 billion. Billion. Walks in with $60 billion. He wants them to win this election so badly. But I would do differently. I will work out peace as president-elect. If I win this election, the first thing I'm going to do is call up Zelensky and call up President Putin, and I'm going to say, you got to make a deal. This is crazy. Crazy. They asked Biden, when was the last time you spoke to Putin? He didn't know. Of course he didn't know. What a stupid question. Of course he doesn't know. How would he know a thing like that? But it's been like years. And they keep bombing, cities pouring down, bombing. It's horrible, horrible. Actually, they're reduced now to using young boys and old men. Young boys and old men, because their people have been killed. So many of their people have been killed that they are using young boys to fight the war and old men. How about that? It's what a horrible thing has happened just because, and it's our fault because it's a war that should have never been allowed to happen, and we had the power that it would never have happened. We have an incompetent leader in Biden, and we have somebody who's worse in this new one that they threw into the ring. Central to Kamala's agenda for economic destruction is her plan to impose the largest individual tax hikes in American history onto our public, the largest small business tax hike in history, the largest capital gains tax hike in history. How about the capital gains tax, right? How about that one? And even the brand new wealth confiscation tax or unrealized capital gain. How about that? Unrealized. You know, I know a lot of people that are rich, but they have no cash. They're rich as hell, but what are they going to do? They have to pay cash to unrealized. In other words, you pay a capital gains tax even though you're not selling your property, your stock, or whatever it might be. I don't think it's ever even been done. It's been thought of by communist nations, but I don't think it's ever been done. You know, her father is a fascist. He's a Marxist, and he's a teacher of Marxist economics. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? Where have we come? Which will annihilate, if they do that unrealized capital gain, which I can't believe they can pull it off, but if they do it, it'll annihilate the stock market and wipe out the savings of millions of seniors and middle-class families. It'll wipe out our country. Our country will be driven in, I think anyway, it'll happen. You know, a lot of people say the only reason the stock market's high is everyone thinks I'm going to win the election. I believe that's true. A lot of the biggest, smartest. Uncle Sam, look, it's Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is here. Do you agree with that? Uncle Sam says, no, a lot of people agree. I think it's going to be horrible. We don't win for so many other reasons too, but you'll have a depression like 1929. Kamala Harris is the tax queen, and she's coming for your money. She's coming for your pensions, and she's coming for your savings unless you defeat her in November and want to take away your guns. Remember that. Always remember that. As president, I will keep Kamala's greedy hands out of your pockets, and we will deliver gigantic tax cuts. I gave you the largest tax cuts in history, and we are going to go further. That's what created the greatest economy. You know, when they say compare yourself now, but do something else. Compare costs now. Compare the cost of bacon with the cost of bacon 4 or 5 years ago. Compare the cost of just groceries. I mean, some of these things have gone up 4, 5, 6 times. Energy, interest rates. How about I was at 2% interest rates. Now they're at 10%, but you can't get the money, so you got to keep going up. Okay, you're not at 10% if you can't get the money. We will have. I'm very proud of this. And then she copied me on one of them, only one. I'm waiting for the others. We will have no tax on tips. That was an easy one. We will have no tax on overtime. You work overtime. And for our seniors who have been decimated by the stupidity of inflation, these people, what they did to you on inflation, we will have no tax on Social Security benefits. No tax. You've been decimated. They took it all away. They took it all away from you. And for all the suburban households paying high property taxes here in Pennsylvania, I will restore the SALT deduction. Do you know what that is? SALT deduction. You will. To save you thousands of dollars. Maybe I shouldn't bother with, but that's a good one, but you guys don't know what the hell it is. That's a good one. People think of New York, but it actually affects you very much too. I think I'll keep it off for Pennsylvania. You didn't like that one so much, but it's actually pretty good. It's no wonder that Kamala Harris was just officially endorsed by IRS agents. Do you believe it? That's one you'd say, I'd rather not have that endorsement, but I've been endorsed by virtually every police group in the entire nation. Every police group, almost every sheriff's group, every police group, every one of them. We just had one, the Fraternal Order. We just had 400,000 policemen. That's the biggest of all the unions, and they endorsed me. And this is the first time in decades, just got endorsed by the rank and file members of the Teamsters, which I happen to think is amazing. That was a surprise. That's automatic for the Democrats, and they now the bosses didn't endorse me, but they had a problem because they got 30% of the vote. We got actually 60 or 61% of the vote. Can you believe it? So the people that were in the 61, the people that want us, they said, well, how come you didn't endorse them? Why do you? They're just going to take a pass. But maybe that's okay. That's all right. We know where they stand, and that's good. Kamala Harris is the candidate of the tax collectors and the Washington bureaucrats. I am the candidate of the American worker, and I always will be. I always will be. But perhaps Kamala's biggest tax hike of all is her vicious attack on Pennsylvania energy. You're under attack. If anybody here believes that she will let your energy industry continue like fracking, you should immediately go to a psychiatrist and have your head examined. On dozens of occasions, Kamala said that she intends to ban fracking. I'm going to ban it. I'm going to ban it. I think we have a clip. Would you like to see a clip? I spend a lot of money on these clips. Spend a lot of money on these clips.
That's why I am committed to passing a Green New Deal, creating clean jobs, and finally putting an end to fracking once and for all.
Mama Kamala just don't give a frack.
Isn't that great? He's not very funny. Can you? That guy. Those three guys, they're being blown away by Gutfeld. You know, Gutfeld, totally dominant. Those three guys. You remember that guy? When I first ran, it was like 2015, thinking about running. I was going to run. I went on his show, right? And he goes, The Tonight Show, which is dying. They're all dying. Where's Johnny Carson? Bring back Johnny. It made you appreciate, right, Uncle Sam? It made you appreciate the greatness of Johnny Carson and these guys. These three guys, they're so bad, all three of them. All three of them. But this one, I go on a show, and he goes, "Is that your real hair?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you mind if I mess it up?" I said, "I'd prefer no." Do you remember this? I said, "I'd prefer it if you didn't, to be honest, but if you have to." So he grabs it, and he starts really going crazy, right? And everybody laughed, and it was a big thing. It was a big hit. It was all over the place, and he got great ratings and all. And 6 months later, he went out because he was under pressure to apologize because he humanized Donald Trump. Do you remember? And he stood up and he said, "I'd like to apologize. 6 months ago, or whatever it was, I messed up Donald Trump's hair and it humanized him and he became president. And I would like to apologize." How weak and pathetic is a guy like that? And his show died, but the other two shows are dying. The one on ABC is dying. He was the worst host in the history of the Academy Awards. Remember I did that? Remember I wrote I put a truth. Everybody should go to Truth immediately. And by the way, we also love Elon, I have to tell you. Gave me a big endorsement, big one. But remember in the Academy Awards, I said how he's the worst host in the history of the Academy Awards. And this stupid guy goes up, and just before the Best Picture of the Year, the show is almost over. They're waiting for the Best Picture of the Year. He gets up and he says, and his wife said, "Please don't do it. Please, darling, don't go out." His manager said, "Don't do it. I have to do it." He goes out and reads my truth to the entire audience right before the best prime time, the Best Picture. And it said basically, he is the worst host of the history. He reads the whole thing. And then I think he said something like, "Ha, ha, ha, he thinks he bothers me," or some crap like that. I said, he's one of the dumbest human beings ever. He should have listened to his wife. What a dope. But all three of them are bad. The hatred. You know, it's supposed to be comedy. It's hatred. It's like terrible. But they're dying. And did anyone see the Gutfeld for last week? So actually, I said it in the show, you know, so Gutfeld had the highest ratings in his history. And it was the #1 show of the week on all of television, not just on cable, on all of television. It beat all the network shows. But I told her the show, Gutfeld hated me for a long time, hated me. And then he started saying, you know, he didn't know me, but he hated me. People that know me like me, but he just couldn't stand me. And he was pretty strong on that. And then what happened is he started to say, you know, I don't like him, but he gets everything done. He rebuilt our military. We have no wars. He took out the worst terrorists in history. We don't have any problems. We didn't have one terror attack during my administration. With all the terror attacks all over the world, we didn't have countries fighting each other. They wouldn't have done it without my permission. They would call me up to ask whether or not they could go to war with some other country. And I said, you can't do that. And if you do that, I'm going to put big, big taxes all over your country. Okay, we won't do it. And they'd call me up the next day. We've decided not to go to the war. We had no wars. Israel was free. Ukraine was free. They weren't. The whole world, Viktor Orban, who's the prime minister of Hungary, he said, if you want to solve, because now everything's blowing up. The Middle East is going to end up in World War III. Ukraine's going to end up in World War III. So many different, we could end up in World War III with incompetent leadership. With smart leadership, it never happened. But it's tougher now than it would have been 3-4 years ago. I mean, the whole place. And more importantly, no matter what you do, you can't get those cities back. You can't get that civilization back. And you can't get 3 or 4 million lives back. You can't do it. But Gutfeld said, on the show, he said, you know, I don't love this guy, but man, everything he touches, he fixes, he gets it done. Our country was doing great. We had the best economy. And he asked for an interview, and I said, you know, I'll do it, but I'm begrudgingly, 10 minutes. I don't really want to do it because he doesn't like me. I guess I don't like anybody that doesn't like me, I'll be honest. When they don't like me, I don't like them, okay? Sounds childish. Look at the wall. Mr. Wall, stand up, please, Mr. Wall. When they don't like me, Lee, I don't like them. That's the way it is. Call it a personality defect. But we did an interview, and it was supposed to be 15 minutes, and it lasted for 2.5 hours. It just never stopped. There was a great chemistry. We actually liked each other. And he likes me. And he took that interview and he put it on 5 shows, and his ratings went through the roof. And he's held it. I mean, he's the hottest guy on late night and beyond late night, maybe in a lot of ways. But we love Sean Hannity too, right? And we love Laura, and we love Jesse, and Janine, and Pete. We like Pete Hegseth. Ainsley's good. We have a lot of good people, and then we have some bad ones too, including on Fox. Do you ever notice on Fox, they put me on, I do a great job, and then they follow me with a horrible commercial. You know, I say, what the hell is it good of me doing it if Roger Ailes never allowed bad commercials? What's the purpose of me doing a nice show and then they put 9 horrible commercials on, which are all lies? Or they put somebody on that's good, and then they always feel like they have to put somebody on who's bad. So the net result is a neutral. And you say, what are you doing it for? You can't do that. Fox should put just the good people on, the people that want to make America great again. They shouldn't put the guys that are professional scammers on. And they shouldn't allow bad commercials. Just a few months ago, Kamala imposed a natural gas export ban. Can you believe that? That is brutalizing Pennsylvania energy jobs. You know about it, right? And Kamala's Green New Deal insanity, I call it the Green New Scam, is shutting down power plants all across America. As a result, Pennsylvania electricity prices are up, despite all of the oil and gas and everything, are up 35% in a very short period of time, with all that stuff underneath your feet, in particular you. Since she took office, we are looking at another rise now of anywhere from 30 to 50% very quickly. And we have so much. We have so much. And you're hit about as hard as anybody. If you vote for me, I will cut your energy and electricity prices in half within 12 months. We're going to cut them down in half. I will terminate the natural gas export ban, which makes it impossible for you to sell your product to a lot of countries that want it desperately because they don't have what we have. We are so rich. We have the greatest, and we don't use it. It makes you really. We have all of this stuff more than anybody. We don't use it. I will get Pennsylvania energy workers pumping, fracking, drilling, and producing like never before. Right? And I don't know about how you feel, but I do, because this was the greatest company in the world 60 or 70 years ago. We are also going to keep U.S. steel right here in America. We have to be strong and powerful again, and we must put tariffs on foreign predators. They are predators, so that they don't destroy our steel industry. The people that like me the most of the steel, they were dead when I came into office. They were dead. And I put taxes on China. China was dumping massive amounts of steel to destroy our companies. I put a 50% tariff, then I raised it in some cases to 100%. And at a certain level, they said, no mas, we're not doing it. Remember, no mas, Roberto. We love Roberto Durando. And no mas, no mas. And they said no mas, and that was the end of it. And our steel companies were saved and thrived. And now we're losing our steel companies again because we have stupid people in the White House. We must keep our steel companies, and we must keep making steel more than any. If we have a war, are we going to call up, gee, China, could you send us some steel, please? Oh, I forgot about that. If we have a war, think of it. If we need it for our military, how do we build our tanks? How do we build our ships? We wouldn't have any steel. We have to make U.S. Steel great again. It doesn't have to be what it was. It was the greatest company in the world. Think of it. U.S. Steel was the greatest company in the whole world. That would be like whatever. You know, today our big companies are like Google and this and that. They're not the same. U.S. Steel is the strength. Google is all Give me a break. Not the same. Not the same. You see all the stuff that Google and Facebook and all what, they got caught cheating on the last election, the bad things they did, the 51 agents and all of the stuff, the laptop. Remember, it was Russia. It was Russia, Russia, Russia. No, it was Hunter, 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 as we said. And they affected, they affected the election very much. It came out many, many points, 11 points, 12 points. But that's what we have. And we can never let that happen again. And I said, we're going to go after anybody that gets caught cheating on the election. We're going to go after them harder than anyone's ever been sought before. Because these people are really a threat. They are a threat to democracy. The Democrats are a threat to democracy. That's the real threat. Under my plan, America will be a manufacturing superpower once again. We will be the envy of the world, and we will build that incredible future right here in Pennsylvania. Boy, did I come close. I almost said, I better be careful, because, if I even mention, they'll report it, because I don't want to be. Should I say it, Uncle Sam? I almost said the state of Pennsylvania, but I meant the Commonwealth. I never said the state. I was able to catch it because I'm cognitively very strong. Very, very strong. I was able to catch it. Did you notice that? Right here, and I stopped for a second. I said, Pennsylvania. I didn't want. Oh, that's a bad mistake. When you do the state of Pennsylvania, you get yourself, I've seen it. Well, the worst was Biden. He's in Florida, and he says, thank you for being so nice. I love Iowa. I've always loved. I said, remember, he was in New Hampshire, and he said he was in Maine. I never did that. If you do that, it's career threatening. As it turned out, it was career threatening. But if you do that once, Winston Churchill was this great speaker. Great. I get much bigger crowds than him, but nobody ever says I'm a great speaker. Winston Churchill was a great speaker. If he ever was in London and he said, I'm in Beirut, or because Biden is capable of that, he could go that far off. And, he compared Florida to Iowa, and then he said it was Idaho, the greatest potato place in the world. He said with Iowa, remember, he said, I love the potatoes in Iowa. No, he meant, right? He didn't mean Iowa. I mean, the whole thing. But I said, if you were Winston Churchill and you make a mistake as to location, like I'm here with you, and if I say, it's great to be in the great state of Illinois, could happen. No matter how great your speech is, you could make the greatest speech in history, and people will go, that was a disaster, right? He did it all the time, but she's worse than him. I'm telling you, watch. She's not as smart as him. He's not smart. He never was smart. He wasn't smart 40 years ago. He was a hale and hearty guy, well met. Did you ever hear Shakespeare? He was hale and hearty and well met, but he wasn't a smart person. But she is a very dumb person, and we can't do that. We can't do that. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude. Another front in Kamala's war on workers is her gigantic migrant invasion. Over the past 3 years, border czar. Do you notice she said, I'm not a border czar? She was a border czar for 3.5 years. Now she's saying I had nothing to do. Whether she was the border czar or just the person in charge of the border, it's been the worst thing ever, maybe one of the worst things ever to happen to our country. Look at what's happening in Springfield, Ohio. Look at what's happened to that beautiful town. Look at what's happened to Aurora in Colorado, where you have a radical left Democrat governor who doesn't have a clue. He's so scared. The Venezuelans are attacking. They're in the real estate business. They're taking over real estate. They're in there like I was, but they take it over with guns. I took it over with the brain. They take it over with guns. But they're in, think of it, Aurora, and they have weapons that the military doesn't even have. AK-47s. I learned about AK-47s 3 weeks ago. That's not a That's not a nice. I'm getting very good at learning about weapons. I'm learning a lot about guns. Over the past 3 years, Border Czar Harris has inundated small towns all across America with hundreds of thousands of migrants. Not only has she invited them across our border, unfortunately, she's also illegally flown them in. Remember, she was making excuses. No, we haven't really had too many. And then we found out that they're flying in by big, beautiful jets. They're flying over the border. She's trying to say that the border was sort of secure. It wasn't secure. Although the greatest graph in the history of graphs, a thing that I love perhaps as much as any person I've ever met, is my wonderful graph on immigration and the lack of people coming. Do we have that graph? Can we put that graph up? This is my favorite graph. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that graph, Lee. David, I love it. Oh, isn't that a beautiful? I don't care what it says. I don't care if it said I did a lousy job. That's the most beautiful piece of paper I've ever seen. You see the arrow in the bottom? That was the week that I left office. See the arrow on the bottom, the big red arrow? That's the lowest level. This was done by the Border Patrol. This looks like a Trump special. It wasn't. That was done by the U.S. Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. ICE is phenomenal. That was done by the Border Patrol. That was the lowest level of immigration we've ever had in the country. And then these idiots, these stupid idiots took over, and look at what happened to our numbers. Look at what happened. Look at what happened to the numbers. But is that the most beautiful? I love the colors, the blue, the gold, the red. There's everything about it I love. I love the stars. Because if I didn't look over to the right to see that beautiful graph, I said, put up that graph, please. If I didn't look over to the right, I wouldn't be here with you tonight, and that would be a very terrible thing. What a beautiful thing. Think of it, Uncle Sam. Immigration saved my life. Think of it. Immigration saved my life. No, it's great. Well, thank you. And thank you. I sleep with that pace. Every night I go to bed with it. Say, darling, it's time to go to bed. Let's go. What a beautiful sight. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Great job that you were able to get it so fast. I didn't think we were going to be using it. I didn't think I was going to use it in Butler. It was just, I always use it at the end. If I use it, I only use it. You would know, you go to every damn rally, right? He's at every rally. And he makes a lot of money. I think he's probably an accountant. He's a CPA. He's a genius, but he goes to every rally. But, right, I rarely use it. But when I use it, it's always on my left, and it's always at the end of the speech. This time I just thought of it. As you can see, I don't use the teleprompter too much. Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't have to use a teleprompter? Isn't that nice? Right? It's really nice. Thank you very much. By the way, we had a rally in Lee's part of the woods out on Long Island, and that was unbelievable. We filled up where the Islanders play and the Nets were playing. They used to play there, a big, like a Madison Square Garden type arena. We filled it up. We could have filled it up 3 times. It was an amazing, just less than a week ago, right? That was great. Lee was there. Kamala has illegally flown in more than 500,000 migrants, right? When she was saying, no, we don't want to do that. And she's got, these guys actually want these people in our country. It's not even believable. Working with left-wing nonprofits to inundate Pennsylvania communities, changing the character of small towns and villages all over our country and changing them forever. They will never be the same. They will never be. Do you think Springfield will ever be the same? I don't think. The fact is, and I'll say it now, you have to get them the hell out. You have to get them out. I'm sorry. Get them
Can't
out.
get much clearer than
Can't
that.
have it. Can't have it. They've destroyed it. It's terrible. It's terrible to say, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, you're going to take in some murderers and things, and you'll put them on the planes and the buses, and you're going to start doing it. Dwight Eisenhower holds the record. Believe it or not, he was a moderate kind of a guy, General Eisenhower, president. And he has the record. He couldn't stand people pouring into our country, and he took a lot and took them out. He's very strong on that. And we have to be strong. We have no choice because this is not sustainable by any country. There's no country that can do this. I mean, what were they thinking when they did it? What were they thinking? This is like, who would allow men to play in women's sports? Well, this is bigger. This is bigger. But it's the same thought. Who would allow? We're allowing open borders where millions of people that we have no idea who they are, where they come from. We don't know if they're murderers, if they're killers. Many are murderers, though, because prison populations are being released into our country. And these are tough people. They're tough people, and they're vicious, evil people in many cases. And we can't have, but it's very tough because we'll take one young woman with 2 children and they'll put them in a bus to take them back to some country. And it'll be put in the fake news, and it'll be a terrible story. It's terrible. And the whole country will turn against. It's a very tough thing to do. We have to do it carefully. But we have to get murderers and drug dealers and all these people that are coming into our country. We have to get them out of here. It's not sustainable. And not far from here, the 4,000 person town of Charleroi. Do people, oh, you know Charleroi? In Charleroi, Pennsylvania, has seen a 2,000% increase in the population of their town. Do you know that, right? They have all. Has your town changed slightly? Where are you from, Charleroi? Put up. Okay, good. I just took a picture with that handsome guy. So, would you say your town has changed just a little bit over the last couple of months? It's like, is it a different place? Totally different place? It's what? It's completely different. Where are the other people that started screaming about Charleroi? Where are they? Okay, has your beautiful town changed? Yes. It's you can't do it. 80%, think of it, of the capital, and it's composed of lawless gangs. We're not gonna do this. All of the gang members, MS-13, they're being brought into our country because Venezuela doesn't want it. Remember this. Venezuela has sent their criminals into our country, has emptied their jails, not fully. They've still got people, but I don't know why, because I would have been worse than him. I would have emptied it. I would have, if I ran one of those countries, Honduras, any of them, even Mexico to an extent is doing it, and they shouldn't be doing it at all because they're getting rich off of us. They're getting rich. They shouldn't be doing it at all. They're going to stop immediately. But so many of these countries, I would do it. If I were the president of one of these countries, you know, and they're all smart, street smart people, I would have had them all. I don't know why Venezuela does it, but they have a lot of the jail population in our country. They probably couldn't get enough buses and planes. That's probably the only reason. But they're dumping jail populations, the criminals of the street, into our country. And there's only one thing that can happen, and it's really bad. And it's happening. And now you see it. And I said this 3 years ago when I heard about it. I said, this is only going to be bad. Think of the cruelty Kamala Harris is inflicting on the people of Pennsylvania. You live in a small town your whole life. You pay your taxes. You really are exemplary. You pay everything. You do everything. You love your town. You love your country. You know the town so well by name, you're just so proud of it. And suddenly she flies in thousands and thousands of migrants from the most dangerous places on earth, and they deposit them right smack in the middle of your community. And you're a nice person, and you want to be politically correct. I see it very much in the cities, like the governor of Colorado. The guy's a real stiff, but he's up talking, and he says, well, these are fine people. He doesn't want to say, that they have AK-47s and they're taking over large portions of real estate. He doesn't want to say it. They want to be politically correct. It's happening in all of these towns that we're talking about because the mayors are afraid, and they're afraid politically too. They don't know, am I supposed to say this is good? Or am I supposed to say, and Democrat mayors, every one of them is saying it's a wonderful thing, and not one of them believes it. But they're afraid to go against the stupid party that's in Washington. So now your schools can teach because the majority, they can't teach because the majority of students don't speak the language. The housing market is destroyed. Crime is rampant. The jobs are taken by migrants illegally imported to our countries. Your school classes, you can't get in. You can't get into your hospitals. Nobody can get into the hospitals. They're driving to hospitals 300-400 miles away. The media is desperate to stop us from having this conversation. The fake news, look at all of them. They have a lot of people. Oh, they have some of the big ones. They have some of the big ones. Wow, oh, that's very impressive. They have some good ones too. But that's exactly why we must have this conversation. We have to have it because the media doesn't want to talk about it. You know, they don't want to do anything that's going to embarrass Kamala because I don't know why. Number one, the country's going to die. They're going to die. They're already dying to a large extent. But if I get elected, they're going to do much better because we get higher ratings. We get the high, you know, Greg Gutfeld got the highest ratings in the history of his show. And think of it, the #1 show of the night, including networks. Nobody knows that. And maybe I think the #1 show of the week. No, but they'll do much better, but they don't realize that. They haven't realized that yet. This isn't an attack on any group of people. It's common sense. We're really talking about, you know, we're the party of common sense. We're conservative, all that. We are the party of common sense. That's what we are. That's what we are. We want to have strong borders, great education, school choice. Does everybody like school choice? We want to move the Department of Education. We're ranked at the bottom of the list, the worst. We spend more money per pupil than any other country by far. And yet we're at the bottom of the list. Out of 40, we're ranked about number 40. And I'm going to close the Department of Education and move education back to the states. And we're going to do it fast. Maybe I'll have you do that. I'll use Lee. Maybe I'll have you. You could do it. That's not too easy. We'll get somebody great. We'll get Lee Zeldin is here with us tonight. I think that's the job for Lee. Or Vivek. Or we'll get somebody. We like Vivek. We need somebody with a lot of energy, a lot of strength, energy, and intelligence. But it takes centuries to build the unique character of each state. And we are going to. And you know, when you do that, so the #1 rated country is Norway. The #2 is like Denmark. And, you know, on it goes. Spend much less money than we do, and they have the finest education. In New York City, a few years ago with de Blasio, who was one of the worst mayors in history, by the way, he said, we're going to go with the Norwegian system. That didn't work out too well, okay? You know, when they start throwing the teachers out the window, that wasn't working out. They don't do that in Norway. Historically, they haven't thrown too many teachers out the window in Norway. But we're going to make it good. And you know what's going to happen is out of the 50 states, you're going to have 35, like different ones. Iowa will do good. A lot of the states will do very good. I can think of probably 30, 35 will be good. And 5 will be okay. 10 will be okay. You'll have 4 or 5 that will be terrible, but that's okay. We have to control it. But you'll have Idaho. You'll have Idaho will do a great job. They, you know, no debt, no this. They run a great state. A lot of places will have education that can compete with Norway and Denmark and this, but we'll have certain places, and it's the same places like Gavin Newsom, who is a terrible governor. You'll probably have a problem in California, but what you do is you give it to the local communities, and they'll have a great educational system. You don't want to give it to somebody like Kamala because she destroyed San Francisco and then destroyed the whole state. But reckless migration policy can change it very quickly, and it can destroy everything in its way, just like we've seen in London and Paris and Minneapolis. Look at what's happened in London. Look what's happening in Paris. If Kamala Harris wins this election, she will flood Pennsylvania cities and towns with illegal migrants from all over the world, and Pennsylvania will never be the same. You will never be the same. When I'm president, all migrant flights to Pennsylvania will stop immediately. By the way, all migrant flights. Not only to Pennsylvania, everywhere. No, but how about they get caught? You know, we just found that out a few months ago. They're saying, no, we're fighting. In the meantime, people are just pouring in. No, we want to do it. And then we learned that the airplanes are flying. That means that, you know, it's just a big con job. Remember this. For a long time, she's been talking about her experience at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's over the French fries. It was so hot. I think I'm going to go to a McDonald's next week someplace. I'm going to go. Might not be in your place. I'm going to go to a McDonald's, and I'm going to work the French fry job for about a half an hour. I want to see how it is. But she said she worked and she grew up in terrible conditions. She worked at McDonald's. It was such. She never worked there. And these fake news reporters will never report it. They don't want to report it because they're fake. They're fake. They don't want to report it. She never worked at McDonald's, but it was a big part of her resume. They went to the different places. Did she work here? Did she work here? Did she work here? She said, we don't know who the hell she is. Leave us alone. We're making hamburgers. We will end the invasion of small-town Pennsylvania, and we will end the destruction of America. It's destroying our country. This country is going to be better than ever before, but we have to do certain things, and we have to do it quickly. And this is one of the big reasons that we're leading in the polls in Pennsylvania, but I think we're doing a lot better than even the polls say. In the latest Emerson poll, we're up in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Georgia pretty substantially. In today's latest New York Times, if the New York Times gives me a good poll, you know we're way up. The Siena poll, we're up in North Carolina by 3, in Georgia by 4, and in Arizona by 5. Those are swing states, very important. And a poll on a state that Republicans just haven't won in many, many years for president. You have a wonderful governor there who's really working, Glenn Youngkin. He's working hard. He's really pushing it hard. He's in charge of it, and he's doing a good job. A poll just came out in Virginia where we're leading in the state of Virginia. Leading if we win Virginia. If we win Virginia, I don't even know if I need Pennsylvania, but we want to get it anyway. We want to get Pennsylvania. Remember last time? So last time we did better than 16, but in 2016, we were leading by hundreds of thousands of votes in Pennsylvania, and they refused to announce it, remember? And then they announced Wisconsin or Michigan, which we won. But all night long, I said, when are they going to announce Pennsylvania? It would be impossible to catch us based on the numbers. If I lost every vote from then till the end, but they waited till 2 o'clock in the morning, you know? You know why they did that, right? They were trying to see if they could accumulate enough ballots. Very dangerous thing. This is a bad, bad system. And we're winning Pennsylvania, but despite the fact that I almost hate to say that we're winning, why don't I say we're tied so you go out and vote? Or we're down by 1. I always say, pretend you're down by 1. The point is you got to get a vote. We got to win, and we got to win, and can't take any chances. But here in Pennsylvania, you also need to vote for your next Senator, Dave McCormick, who I know for a long time. And he's going to defeat Bob Casey. He's going to stop inflation and secure our borders. Do you want to come up for a second? Do you mind? I love this guy. He's a military hero. He's a business hero. And he'll make a great senator. Come on up, David. Say something.
Thank you. All right. Well, Mr. President, thank you so much for that great introduction. And we're going to win the presidency right here in the Senate majority in the Keystone States. So thank you. And the reason we're going to win is because people in Pennsylvania feel like they've lost their economic security. Prices going out of control. The war on fossil fuels. They've lost their physical security. Crime in our cities, illegal immigration, 4,000 fentanyl deaths, and people around the world, adversaries challenging us. So people in Pennsylvania want change. And what I tell them is, listen, it's a battle between common sense and these radical liberal policies under Kamala Harris. And Bob Casey's going to vote for her 99% of the time because he is a weak leader and a rubber stamp for this liberal agenda. And I say also, this is a race between strength and weakness. And when I talk about strength with G.T. Thompson and Sean Parnell, I say, listen, I was standing there at Butler, 15 feet away. I saw you get shot. I saw you go down. And I saw you come up with your fist and say, fight, fight, fight. That's why we're going to win. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, David. Thank you very much. And he's a good man, I'll tell you. Very successful guy. He goes through a lot to do this. And Bob Casey, I can tell you, I was there for 4 years at the highest level. I met everybody. This guy does nothing for Pennsylvania. He's not going to help your oil, your fracking. He's not going to help anything. And David will be a warrior for your Commonwealth. He will be a warrior, total warrior. So thank you, David. Thank you very much. We're also pleased to be joined. Oh, I have so many people here. I have congressmen, I have senators. It's brutal. You know, when you introduce people, you always miss a couple of them. But I'm going to apologize because I see somebody there that I think is a certain senator, but I'm not 100% sure. The eyes aren't what they used to be, I'll be totally honest. The brain is better than it used to be, but the eyes aren't what they used to be. But you always get yourself in trouble. But I'm going to introduce somebody that's been amazing, Congressman Glenn G.T. Thompson, who's sitting with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, G.T. Thank you very much. Great job. He's a warrior. Former Congressman Fred Keller. Fred, thank you very much. I saw him sitting there. A great gentleman who's a real leader, State Senate Majority Leader Joe Pittman. Joe? Whoa. Whoa. Hey, you're popular, Joe. What a family you have, too. What a great family. Thank you very much, Joe. Mayor of Slippery Rock, J.D. Longo. Thank you, J.D. Great job. Thank you. Great job. And a friend of mine who's a warrior and a very strong guy, tough guy. They had a bad deal with that election. It was terrible what happened. Sean Parnell. Sean, stand up. Yeah. They played around with 25,000 ballots. That was another unique one, wasn't it? What a disgrace that was. Anyway, we're 6 weeks away from the most important election in the history of our country. And here are the facts. Kamala Harris wants open borders. She will deliver rampant inflation, and she wants to pack the Supreme Court. You know that. Instead of 9 justices like we have now, Kamala wants to bring it up very substantially. Now, this is a number I heard 2 days ago, potentially to 25 justices, so she can rig the system, meaning not she, the whole party can rig the system, the party of communists. She wants to bring it up to 25. That's the first time I heard that number, but I heard it very loud and clear. She might as well have Congress. You know, Congress is supposed to be that, not the Supreme Court. No, they were very brave, the Supreme Court, very brave, and they take a lot of hits because of it. It should be illegal what happens. You know, you have these guys like playing the ref, like the great Bobby Knight. These people should be put in jail the way they talk about our judges and our justices, trying to get them to sway their vote, sway their decision. Kamala was an original creator of Defund the Police movement. Okay, so she was in Defund the Police for years. Anybody who wants to defund the police for even 1 week is not worthy of being president of the United States. Can you imagine? That's where she came from. That's where she came from. That's her theory, and that's her way, and that's her policy. You know what the policy is? She's changed 15 policies. You know, over the years, I've been like a student of politics for a long time, but I was on the other side. I was writing checks all the time, right? But I was on the other side. But I've never seen anyone go 15 for 15. I've seen guys change one policy, maybe two when they were little ones. She changed everything. She loves oil all of a sudden. She loves the police about, when did that start? A few months ago. But let me tell you, they immediately go back to where they came from. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. These are great patriots, ICE. They take such hits. They are so tough and love our country so much. They get MS-13 out of our country. Under border czar Harris, Venezuela gangs, all these Venezuelan gangs have taken over entire areas of different places in our country, and she supports free health care for illegal aliens while our hospitals and emergency rooms are being overrun by migrants who come up here because they say, come up and we'll give you. Look, I feel sorry. I have a bigger heart than anybody, but you can't tell people to come up. We're going to give you education. We're going to give you free health care, because they're going to come up. And if you stop saying that, they won't come any longer. You can't do this. And Newsom does it, and all of them do it, and you can't do it. But migrants make it virtually it's unusable. I mean, the states become unusable, the school systems, the hospital. She lost more than, this is a number that's the worst number that you'll ever hear. I mean, think of it. Think of a big stadium that holds 55,000 people. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children. They're gone. Nobody knows where they are. Many of them are dead. Many of them are in sex trade. Many of them are dead. They've been trafficked. They've been raped. 325,000 children are missing. If one child is missing, it's too many. Think of it. Under her, 325,000 children. As California Attorney, she will destroy our country. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, a term, deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as non-violent crimes. She said they are all non-violent. She praised the idea of 70 to 80% tax. She wants a tax rate of 70 to 80%. Will you be happy paying 80%? I don't think so. She wants to ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles, which will destroy the Pennsylvania way of life. And she even endorsed free sex changes. At first, they said, you got to go back and tell me this. And this was recently. She endorsed free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention centers all over our country at taxpayer expense. You don't hear this on Oprah, do you? Think of that. Sex change, you're detained. You're being held in a detention center, and you say, I want to change. I want to become a woman. And they have to give you the operation, which is an immensely expensive operation on top of everything else, $250,000 at least, and then all the drugs involved and everything else. She's sick. I'm telling you, if you put her in, I don't think you will either. Uncle Sam? Uncle Sam, will you put her in? I don't think so. Stand up, Uncle Sam. No, it's terrible. As DA and as Attorney General, she destroyed San Francisco and she destroyed all of California. It's like a different place. It's not recognizable. And now she's coming to destroy the United States of America, and we're not going to let it happen. We can't let it happen. She led the change in California law so that if you steal less than $950, you are not prosecuted. And if you steal more than $950, you're actually not prosecuted either. You wonder. But how about this? The kids are walking in with computers. They're putting stuff, they're adding it up so that if it's less than $950, they go into a judge. They say, Your Honor, it's less than, oh, okay, case dismissed. How sick? Is this country sick? Less than $1,000, you don't get prosecuted. She even lied about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities. Remember, she said, oh, he's fine, he's fine. A great disservice to the American people, because he's negotiating with Russia, China, North Korea. He's negotiating with people that are probably in a state of shock. They say, can you believe this? Because they're all at the top of their game. I know all of them, they're at the top of their game. And we are at the most dangerous point in the history of our country. We could end up in World War III because of this lunatic and her. She's so much worse. She wants to take away your guns and your rifles in violation of the Second Amendment. And she's a communist, and everybody knows it, and our country is not ready for a communist president and won't be for a long, long, long time to come. That's why less than 2 months from now, we are going to tell her that we've had enough. Our country can't take it anymore. Kamala, you've been a terrible vice president. You'll be the worst president in the history of our country, superseding even crooked Joe Biden. Kamala, you are a disaster to the United States of America. Kamala, you are fired. You're fired. Get out. Get out. All right, so we have to talk business. I always thought women liked me. I never thought I had a problem. But the fake news keeps saying women don't like me. I don't believe it. I think, you know why? They like to have strong borders. They like to have safety. Nothing personal. I think they like me. But I make this statement. Thank you. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you. But I think they like me because I represent something that's very important. I make this statement to the great women of our country. Sadly, women are poorer than they were 4 years ago, much poorer, are less healthy than they were 4 years ago, are less safe on the streets than they were 4 years ago, are paying much higher prices for groceries and everything else than they were 4 years ago, are more stressed and depressed and unhappy than they were 4 years ago, and are less optimistic and confident in the future than they were 4 years ago. I believe that. I will fix all of that and fast, and at long last, this nation and national nightmare will end. It will end. We've got to end this national nightmare. Because I am your protector. I want to be your protector. As president, I have to be your protector. I hope you don't make too much of it. I hope the fake news doesn't go, oh, he wants to be their protector. Well, I am. As president, I have to be your protector. I will make you safe at the border, on the sidewalks of your now violent cities, in the suburbs where you are under migrant criminal siege, and with our military protecting you from foreign enemies, of which we have many today because of the incompetent leadership that we have. You will no longer be abandoned, lonely, or scared. You will no longer be in danger. You're not going to be in danger any longer. You will no longer have anxiety from all of the problems our country has today. You will be protected, and I will be your protector. Women will be happy, healthy, confident, and free. You will no longer be thinking about abortion. So all they talk about abortion because we've done something that nobody else could have done. It is now where it always had to be, with the states and a vote of the people. And it is and will be, with powerful exceptions like those that Ronald Reagan insisted on for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. but not allowing for Democrat-demanded late-term abortion in the 7th, 8th, or 9th month, or even execution of a baby after birth. Thank you. Thank you very much. Such an important topic. For 52 years, all legal scholars and experts wanted abortion to be with the states and to have a vote of the people. 52 years they fought for this. Republicans, Democrats, liberals, and conservatives. Everyone wanted abortion out of the federal government and into the states. 6 brilliant and very brave justices of the United States Supreme Court were able to do that for you, and they did it. It will never move back to the federal government. We'll never have the votes to do so, and nobody should want it to, because it must now have that very important vote of the people, something sought for many, many years. I have always defended and supported IVF fertility, and so has the Republican Party, and we gave you and give you total support on IVF. Don't let anyone tell you different. We are much stronger than the Democrats. We want beautiful babies in our country. We want you to have your beautiful, beautiful, perfect baby. We want those babies, and we need them. And I will protect women at a level never seen before. They will finally be healthy, hopeful, safe, and secure. Their lives will be happy, beautiful, and great again. And it's my honor to do so. It's my honor to do so. Because that's all they talk about. Our country's a mess. It's a mess. The borders are bad. The trade is bad. The inflation is bad. It's the worst time in your lives in our country. We're being laughed at by everybody in the world. Everything is wrong with our country. Nothing's right. And all they talk about is abortion. The fact is, for 52 years, they've been trying to do what we did. And the votes are all taking place in Ohio. It took place in Kansas. And it was more liberal than people would have thought. But it's taking place all over the land. And the vote's going to change, and it's being negotiated. But it's the vote of the people, and it's with the exceptions. We want to have the exceptions. Some people have to follow their heart, but it's hard not to have the exceptions. It really is. But that's all they talk about. The country's falling apart. We're going to end up in World War III, and all they can talk about is abortion. That's all they talk about. And it really no longer pertains, because we've done something on abortion that nobody thought was possible. And I give those 3 brilliant, if you think about it, and it
So let me get this straight. Out of everything that's going on in America, you don't like his tariffs, which according to him you wouldn't have to pay, or immigration, which again you already here. So because of those two, and putting everything else that's going on in America to the side, you gonna vote for Kamala? Okay, that don't even make no sense. But go ahead. What's going on with the feed? Hold on, y'all. Let me see what happened to the feed. Oh, we got a broadcast tonight? Cool. Cool. I'll be over there.
get
Let's go.
Oh, what happened? Hold on.
We will close the border, let
There we
people
go.
come into
We
our
have a
country, but
yeah.
only if they come in legally, and we will immediately drill, baby,
It's like,
drill. And we will stop outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. We are not going to let foreign
Israel, why do
countries
you act like
rip
he
us
hasn't
off
already
any
been
longer. And
president
we
before?
just about had it stop. And they just broke everything that any, it's just amazing. What they did is so disgraceful. We will pass the, call it, Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. So if China or any other country, not only China, charges us a 100 or 200% tariff, then we will charge them the exact same 100 or 200% tariff in return. And I will not let Mexico, China, or any other country sell cars into the United States to the detriment of our auto workers. And I will bring the auto industry manufacturing back into the United States. It will be. We're going to bring it back. We're not going to let them. You know, right now, China is building massive car factories. They wouldn't have started it with me, but they didn't know that was going to happen to us 4 years ago. They had no idea. They had no thought that that could happen.
Well, why didn't Joe
Nobody
fix it?
thought that was going to happen. That's why, you know, if I thought that I did poorly in that election, which we did, we got more votes than any sitting president in history by a
Nothing was
lot.
high while we
Think
were
of
in
it.
quarantine
If I
during
didn't
the
do that,
actual
if I
part of
thought
the
I
pandemic.
lost that
he was
election,
president.
I wouldn't be
Nothing was
doing
high.
this. I wouldn't be doing this. Much harder. It's easy. You know, you lose, you lose. But when that happens, you can't let people get away with it. You cannot let people get away with it.
Joe didn't fix anything.
Our car
Joe
industry
made things worse.
and auto manufacturing will be doubled during my term and at a number higher than it ever was before. You know, we've lost almost 60% of our automobile manufacturing over decades. And it's now a lot of it's going right into Mexico. We're going to stop that. We're going to stop it very quickly. They weren't doing it with me, but boy, are they doing it now. I will end Kamala's insane electric vehicle mandate.
He said there's a place for electric vehicles.
I will always
but
protect
that's not
Social
gonna be the
Security
only
and
thing that's gonna
Medicare
work.
with no
They're about
cuts
to
on
opt
Social
for gas.
Security. We're not going to be changing the age. They're going to end up destroying Social because they're letting migrants into Social Security at numbers nobody can believe, and you're going to end up. They will destroy your Social Security on top of everything. I will stop the drugs and fentanyl pouring into
Not
our
true.
country,
Not
killing our
true,
kids
Yusuf.
and our
Change the
families. We will stop
I
it.
stayed on it.
I
all
had
my
it down to
friends,
the lowest
friends,
number in
working.
32 years.
So
And then
I don't know
these
what you
people
was
took
living
over,
during
and
the
what
pandemic,
happened
but
to
here
our
in
border,
America,
what happened
we
to
still
even the
get it.
drugs pouring in times 9, they tell me, is 9 times more than we had. And by the way, honestly, you will never be able to solve that problem unless you have the death penalty for drug dealers. And it's not something I like saying. That's the way it is. China has no drug problem. I said to President Xi, do you have a drug problem? No, 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 no. You don't have a drug problem? No, no, no. What do you attribute that to? He said, quick trial. I said, what's quick trial? We take the drug dealer, we give him a quick trial, and if he's guilty, which I guess he probably always is over there, he said, we immediately execute. You got to understand something. It sounds horrible, right? Each drug dealer, he or she, during the course of their life, kills at least 500 people. And when you hear that, how many families do you know where their child had a dose of fentanyl, not even in many cases because they were into drugs. They take another drug and it's laced with fentanyl, not even what you would call a bad drug. They take a medication prescribed by a doctor, it's got fentanyl, and they die right in front of the parents. We will crush all of that. We will stop it, and we're going to stop it fast. Not going to allow it. President Xi and I had a great conversation. I said, you know, you're killing our people. You said it because they make it. you're sending it into Mexico, you're killing our people. And I told him what I was going to do, and he was not happy about that. And we had a deal that he was going to give death penalty to any people making fentanyl and selling it into the United States. And then when Biden took over, that all failed because, you know, these guys aren't going to do anything. They didn't do anything. They don't do anything. Even if you look at the Abraham Accords, what I did for Israel, we had 4 countries. They still have 4 countries. She said every country should have been signed. You would have had peace in the Middle East. But they signed, they took the 4 countries. They haven't put 1 country in, 1 additional country. We would have it loaded up. We will crush violent crime and protect all law enforcement, including Border Patrol, ICE, sheriffs, and Secret Service. We will protect them. We will terminate the Green New Scam and spend trillions of unspent dollars on roads, bridges, real infrastructure, and paying down debt, and not fake infrastructure like we have under the Green New Deal, where it's throwing money out the window and causing massive inflation. I will settle the war in Ukraine, and I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III. And I think I'm the only one that's going to be able to do that. We are far down the line. And World War III will be a war. This will be a war like no other because of the weaponry. I always say, this is no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting each other. This is nuclear power with power like nobody's ever seen before. We will have peace through strength. That's what we had. We had no wars during my 4 years. First time. Now, we wiped out ISIS 100%. We did it in 4 weeks. They said it would take 5 years. I did it in 4 weeks. Our military is great. Our military is not woke either. The guys on top, like Milley, and those guys are woke. But you don't have the television guys are all woke. But the real military, you could put them in a room for 2 years and scream woke at them. And when they walk out, they'll be shouting, I'm not woke. The job they did with me on ISIS, you know, I inherited that whole mess with ISIS. And we defeated 100% of the ISIS caliphate in record time. We have a great military, which you don't hear about. I will support universal school choice, and every parent will be empowered to send their child to the public, private, religious, or charter school that is right for them. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., which are a horror show, making them safe, clean, and beautiful. Again, we're going to rebuild our cities. We'll have to work with Democrats, and that's okay. But we're going to get them cleaned up, and we're going to make them safe, because right now you can't walk across the street in our cities, including Washington, D.C., the capital. We're going to clean it up, make it beautiful again, and make it safe again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, because it is failing right now. And if we lose that, it'd be like losing a war. This is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, and misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. Every single race, religion, color, and creed. We're going to take care of it all. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. It's the American dream. We're bringing back the American dream. We will stop the invasion. We'll end migrant crime, which is at a level that nobody can believe except me, because I said it. As soon as I heard what they were doing with the open border, I couldn't believe it. We built hundreds of miles of wall, and all we had to do is flip up some additional wall panels. We would have picked up 200 miles more. That's much more than I ever said I was going to build. And they didn't do it. And then I realized they wanted open borders. I couldn't believe it. We're going to strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield around our country. We're going to keep critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we are going to keep men out of women's sports. You saw the Olympics with the boxing, with the young, beautiful young Italian girl fighting a person who transitioned. Muhammad Ali would have been scared of this person. Transitioned, and you know, the left is sort of a defensive shot, right? So, boom, he gets a left, hits her in the face. She didn't know what the hell hit her. It was like a horse. I never saw this before. She walked back to her corner. She said, I just got hit with something. What happened? They said, give it another try. Maybe she was just lucky. Sorry. I could get in trouble for that. Uncle Sam said, no, you got it right. But no. So she goes back out, boom, does another left, just a jab. She gets hit, she quits. She says, that's it, I can't fight. This person just hurt me really badly with 2 little jabs. And that person went on to very easily win the gold medal. There was another person who transitioned, Uncle Sam also. Different country, transitioned, different weight class, transitioned, won the gold medal. So you had 2 people that transitioned, both happened to win the gold medal. Is anybody surprised by that? These people are sick. And you know what? It's so demeaning to women, when you think of it. We will defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, and restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Comrade Kamala Harris. And we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. You must get out and vote. You have to get out and vote. Everyone here, promise me I'll vote. We want a landslide that's too big to rig. They can't do anything about it. At a certain level, there's not a thing. They cheat like dogs. They cheat so badly. People say, oh, it's a terrible thing to say. The people that know exactly what I'm talking about. You know who knows better than anybody else? Democrat leaders. Those are the ones. On November 5th, it will be considered, you watch, the most important day in the history of our country. We will save our economy. We will save our country on November 5th. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country together. We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much, Pennsylvania. God bless you.
So that was Donald Trump that is his second stop in Pennsylvania today. He discussed what his plan is should he be elected as the 47th president of these United States of America. whether you don't agree, don't like him, don't think he can do it, whatever, what have you. He, for those of y'all who've been following, watching, following him on the channel, he consistent. He come out every time, tell you what he gonna do, and when he gonna get it done. I mean, I don't know, what else y'all could really want. And consistency is important in any type of leadership. So again, okay, I'll let you talk long enough. He comes out, he tells you what he's gonna do, and what the problem is as he sees it. It is pretty much the same thing each time. So at this point, just on a baseline, since we've been hearing the same thing for about 2 months, we at this point would have no choice but to think this is what he's gonna do. Okay, Aaron. He didn't write Project 2025. I know you haven't seen you here before, but we got that straight some months ago. And again, what's in Project 2025 that you got a problem with? Would be a better question. What's in there that you got a problem with? George, he has been consistent about what he said he's gonna do and gave us a timeline. Talking about we don't need Taylor Swift. We got Listen, Janet didn't even come out, unless I missed it. Janet didn't even come out and say that she was supporting him. You know what? Because I don't know who that's directed to. So just on the off chance. Okay, you know what? We gonna say goodnight. Again, I asked you what problem you got with Project 2025. Yeah, they had nothing to do with that. So again, he didn't say that, Milo. Don't make up shit. He didn't say that. I mean, because we would all love to know what part of Project 2025 you got, a problem with. We would love to know. So go ahead and enlighten us. He is, Celine. He is. No lie. No lie. Oh Lord. At the investigation. Yes, honey. Yeah, we just want to what part of it for you is not the move. No, he ain't dropped out. Why would he drop out? Hold on, in the course of the pandemic, our government already planned on doing that. Nothing to do with just Trump. Well, y'all do know that there's a version of Project 25 that comes out every election for both sides. Yeah, we ain't doing that here either. That's can't get into that. I don't need no type of problem. Stock in the White House with unqualified person that hey, but okay. Well, I mean, again, you came on here with all that. We thought, I'm saying, that you had a certain issue with it that was bothering you. You got to go look up page numbers and all of that. That means nothing really. Um, why do I need to do that? It's right here in the bottom corner. It ain't no different. Okay, that's messed up, Dylan. Nice you had to go through that. Yeah, and child, we ain't got time for looking up the pages because again, what don't you like? Simple question. You stay hidden because that's about stupid. No, I wasn't talking to. I wasn't talking to you, sneaky elbow. I wasn't talking to you. Mm-mm. I wasn't talking to you. But I mean, if you have something, definitely, you know what I'm saying, put it in the chat. Mm. Hey, Kubaloo. Child, first I joked. I do not believe that he had C19. I do not believe that. That was the setup for him to. Thank you, Eric. What you say? I have read the whole Project 2025 and most of it is good. Okay. You're not a fan of mass deportation. So would you be one of the ones deported? Because other than that, why would you care? Okay, Dylan. Mike Hunt, no. That name doesn't ring a bell. Child, what is that about? He is not. Sneaky elbow, he is not. Why should he have to? Hold on. Not a fan of unleashing undue force on protesters. Okay. What the you put who none of this shit's important. What you say, Celine, leftist women have done me down for being pro-life and siding with Trump. Child, you be actually, don't worry about them, fuck them. I'm okay with the deportation of illegal aliens. Okay. All right, we locked intensity. I see you. That's what I'm saying. I personally have no problem. If you want to come over here, do your thing, but do what you need to do. If it's certain stuff I got to do to be over here, then you need to do what you need to do to be over here. It's not hard. Yeah, we're not doing that. You got a better chance of going than he does. Uh, you're not a fan of severely limited voting access. Do what you need to do to be able to vote. Again, this shit's not hard, sir. You're just making up shit. Hell, if you got to get credentials to drive, then I don't think requiring credentials to vote when you can use the same credentials that you use to drive should be a damn problem. You need ID to go get your money out the bank. Use that same ID to go vote. What's the problem? What you say? The whole world want Trump to win for the sake of world peace. I guess. I guess I'm making too much sense. I guess. I'm just saying, hell, you got a driver's license, problem solved. I just don't see what the issue is. I should not, you know what I'm saying, be able to walk up in a voting precinct and tell you my name is Susan Davis, knowing damn well it ain't, and go cast a vote. Don't make sense. So let's not do that. We say it's easy to say you want peace when when it's not your country that's being invaded. Okay, I give you that. Okay. Well, I mean, you know what, Angel? I don't think you can. If you don't have a driver's license and you're a citizen, you should be able to vote. Well, then you need to go get a ID. You still need ID for other aspects of your life. Use your social security card. Use your passport. You still got to have ID in other aspects of your life. Use that to vote. This, again, still ain't hard. What would you say, Eric? Thank you for the support. Crash Use Project. The Democrat shitcrats, Lord. Use Project 2025 and scare tactics to get people in their emotions to vote for them, but won't promise you shit. People wake up. We said the issue is Democrats can't cheat if their requirements for voting. This is true. That doesn't make sense. You have to show ID. Exactly. Liberals think that people of color can't get ID. I mean, we act like I'm a person of color, in case y'all can't tell from the avatar. We act like we can't, but child, I have every ID I have ever been issued in all of my 46 years of life. I got so much ID. I still have in my baby book the paperwork my parents had to fill out to get my birth certificate. I have all the ID. It's no reason for this. I just had to renew my driver's license. I didn't have to set foot in the DMV. Did it all online, and it came in the mail. There's no reason for this. That's what I'm saying. Can't make a deposit at the bank without the ID. This is what I'm talking about. I had to go too. We locked in Tennessee. They was like, who you? Listen, if you don't have $10 to go get your ID, then you don't need to vote. You got other shit to worry about. Exactly. You can't get $10 together to go get your ID. You don't need to be worried about voting. You got other situations you need to take care of. What you say, Death Note? In Georgia, ID is free. Oh, even better. Even better. I know here in North Carolina, if you're just getting, you're saying a regular, you're saying ID, it's $10. Your driver's license depends on your age, because your age depends on how many years it's good for. Like, I just renewed mine. Mine is good for 8 years, but the one that expired was only good for 6 because of how old I was when I got it. But yeah, free ID, you have no reason not to have your stuff together. You saying Massachusetts 25? Yeah, China, ain't nobody got time for that. You said interesting, poor people shouldn't vote. I didn't say that. I said if you ain't got yourself together enough to go get your ID, then voting should be the last shit on your mind, is what I said. What you say, Kubaloo, is the victim mentality. Government needs to hold their hand in every aspect of their life, so they stay dependent on the government. Exactly. I ain't got time. I ain't got no time. Part of the voting bill Republicans passed. Thank you, Death Note. They got some kind of issues. I don't know what kind of, just daddy issues, mama issues, self issues. I don't know what they got, but child, yeah, they don't play. You got some ID with you? My daddy don't play them games. If you can't afford an ID, you get to drinking some soda or water bottles and collect 100 of them. There's your $10. Well, there it is. I'm just saying, there's no reason for that. Get a job. You can't get a normal job without an ID, so that's where you need to start if you don't have $10. There it is. We studied in school. Republicans are the party of black people. They fight for freeing slaves, they fight for equal citizenship, and they fight for women voting rights. Okay. Old man Trump doesn't want you to be able to cure your vote if the machine rejects it because of something as little as a smudge. That's it. No vote for you. The hell that goes on now. So they ain't got shit to do with Trump. That's why we got touchscreens now. But at least where I am. He said people can find more motivation to scrape money together for DRUGS than for a driver's license. Yes, absolutely. Yes. People have their own reasons why they don't have ID. Well, hell, look forward to a hard ass life. How the hell you don't have? How do you get a lease? I ain't even gonna get into no mortgage or nothing like that. I'm just saying basically, how do you secure your lease, your lights, your water, any of that with no damn ID? How this work? Maybe I'm in the wrong state because state of North Carolina don't play them games with you. We need copies of all of that. She's like, Celine, these last 4 years been hard. You say fancy, vote for the one you believe that's gonna make America better and stronger. And Scamla is not it. How she gonna fix problems when she's one of the main contributors? Honey, if I knew, I'd tell you. If I knew, I would tell you. Exactly, the people here that work. That's how they listen. I'm just saying, even before I started working, I had ID, but maybe because I had parents with an S, I don't know. But I've always had some form of ID. It was none of that, you know what I'm saying? You can't see your birth certificate or none of that kind of food. Like I've always had access to ID. You say live with other people. Somebody got to have some ID. I'm just saying. We're just not doing this. You say you need 3 forms of ID in Maine to get a job. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I know I had to take my birth certificate, school when I got my birth certificate. I took birth certificate, school records, and my passport. Now I don't know what my parents submitted, you know what I'm saying, for me to get my passport because I was a kid when I got mine. But apparently they was able to prove I was who they said I was. I don't know. But we about ID around here. You said my parents with an S. I mean, that's real. Women are too emotional to vote. They will ruin this country. Listen, I might have to agree with you on that. We say, well, you can't get no passport without. This is what I'm talking about. I need my ID to pick up my kids from school. Seriously? I mean, you know what? In this day and age, I can get with that. I can get with that. We locked intensity. Because, child, you never know. You never know. Yeah, we got to have some records. I can get it. But I just don't understand how you out here functioning with no ID and why you can't get one. What you saying? Everybody can talk about, but let's talk about the bad but you built body, lady. What? I do too, Celine. I need another. Yeah, I need a cruise. It's been a minute. It's time to go. Yeah. What you say? Everybody has ID except the dead and the illegal. That we still. Yeah. Hey, listen. I understand. Some people are scammers. All the more reason to have some ID with you. The woman's Crocker, right? Child, no, because she need to go sit her ass. Jasmine Crocker, she need to go sit her ass down, take them bad wigs off. So that's what she should have told her. I'll do something about my bad built body when you do something about them bad wigs you got on. C-Days, yeah, because you could just lay around and suck up all that good sun. Celine, girl, don't you know it? Yes. You could just, what I'm saying, you could just relax and read, drink, whatever you want to do. You could just be. You don't have to go nowhere. Yes, honey. I need to find me a cruise somewhere. I got things to do. Oh, so we got a statement. I don't see what Trump talking about. I know, right? This just got back from cruising Hawaii and it was peaceful with the pet. This is what I'm talking about. What's that? Trump should have had you as his VP. Oh, thank you. We locked in intensity. Listen, I'm not sure what, because like I said, as people on my channel know, I am not well versed in wait a minute, hold on. I am not well versed in JD Vance, so I don't know what the appeal is supposed to be with him. I don't know. They said 2 or 3 day one. Carnival's cool, Celine. It just, what I'm saying, depends on what you're looking for. Carolina Beach. Okay. It was my first wife cruise, so she enjoyed it like a kid in a candy store. Yes. She said cruises are dangerous and lack security. I don't have any problems. Thank you. I don't have any trouble. Look, I can get on here and tell y'all about what I personally have experienced, what I have, gotten from whatever it is we just watched, whether it's Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. I'll let you know what I got out of it. I am not here to influence you and what you get out of it. I'm not here just to make a statement one way or the other. I'm not here to tell you how to vote. I'm just here to bring you the information. I tell you what I think about it and go from there. The hell are you talking about? Neurotic black women yapping about nonsense. They always try to sound so smart, but you can tell they have no clue what they talking about. Who you talking about? Because we can help you out. There should be a third debate. We've only had, give me a third debate, period. Because I'm going to say we've only had one with each one of them. You say Trump has more power out of office than Kamala does in office. You know what? That's real. That's real. Hold up, y'all. My bad. Oh, it's going off. Who's it? Kamala ran. Yeah. Whilst a lot of people don't know about him, he was governor of Minnesota. Yeah, people been coming out, Mary. People been coming out. They was like, Walls ain't shit. But folks been coming out. Okay, see, we don't know all of that. So every time she cap, I cringe. Harris rejected the 4 offers Trump made for debate. She only wants to protect the debate on the Alphabet Network. Yeah. Which mob was Tommy out for saying Trump? You ain't getting timed out for saying Trump. Maybe something else. Diddy did nothing wrong. Free my brother. I mean, listen, I would. I would tend to say that I don't know about he didn't do nothing wrong. He done a lot of shit, but it ain't the stuff he got indicted for. Like, deal with what you can prove he's already done. Don't go make up no shit. It's plenty to get him on that he done that you can prove. Don't make up no stuff because you trying to prove a point. You know what? We ain't got time. Ain't that the truth? I don't. They can get upset. It don't bother me none. You said if we have a third debate, I say Tucker Carlson should moderate. Also, see, child, she ain't coming. She agreed. She said she would do one if it's on CNN. That was never. No, we already had CNN. We good. We passed it. She said, "How do these black people support MAGA? They literally." Okay, well, first of all, ain't nobody said nothing about MAGA. We don't here having an entire conversation about Donald Trump. Those are actually two different things. What Death Note has spoken. He said he timing out disrespectful people. Let's have a conversation without the insults. Exactly. If you can't do that, then you gotta go. You know, Celine, that whole baby oil, that was for sensationalism. That's so you can stay stuck on that, because owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is not a crime. I don't care where you are. That is not a crime. But that's sensational. It allows you to think, because anybody with any kind of sense know that if you were engaged in, you're saying in relations, you ain't using baby oil for no lube. Who don't know this? But again, it sounds good. He said, since when do you go to jail for having baby oil? Exactly. She did. Yeah, ABC, they handheld her. Yeah. Lindsay was a sorority sister, and the president of ABC is a sorority sister. Kamala, they get on there. My thing is, you're gonna fact check one, fact check the other, and make sure you're doing some accurate fact checking, because half of that fact checking they did against Trump, we had already seen evidence of what he was talking about. We had already verified that information, because it wasn't nothing that he hadn't been saying for the month before he even got on there. Did Lindsay really get fired? I kept hearing that, but I didn't look and check. Did Lindsay Davis really get fired? My thing is, don't fire one without the other. Take David with you. But I heard their ratings are in it. I did read their ratings in the toilet. Straight trash. Hello. In fact, his wife opened the window. Yeah, so much she like this, the smell of burning rubber. I remember that foolishness. Hold on. Wait, what's this baby oil thing? Now we're talking about Sean Diddy Combs. Yeah, in the indictment paperwork, they said when they searched one of his properties, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I don't know if the hell that got to do anything, but yeah, they made it a point to put that in there and keep referring to his parties as freak offs. Yeah. Trump is not scared of a third debate. At this point, we 40-something days out. Ain't no point. Yeah, we know she Indian. Actually, there's a lot of information floating around to the contrary. But you say you've been trying to get your comment through all day. Really? Okay, so Lindsay didn't get fired. Okay, cool. Like I said, I had been hearing it. I just didn't look to confirm, because I don't even be on ABC like that. Honestly, y'all, I ain't had no use for ABC since all my children went off. I'm just gonna be real with you. I just ain't been on ABC like that. Yeah, he did. That was straight 3-on-1. Okay, so that's the thing. She said what she, that was her, but then there were other people who, came out with, police audio, personal video that they had taken, as well as, pictures where they had actually witnessed this stuff going on. So because she made up what she said, that doesn't negate the other 45, 50, 100 people who been showing up to, town hall meetings and going to the mayor and writing a congressman and all of that about this going on. Because apparently this been going on for a minute. So, because she made up what the hell she was talking about, don't have nothing to do with the recipe. You don't debate when you winning. Does the winner of the fight demand a rematch? Nope. Good point, Patrick. Okay. JD, he lied again. I'm talking about what people who live there who have recorded and documented different things over the course of more than a year and a half. So because JD lying, that doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, Brian, who been recording crazy stuff going on and spits in the middle, you know what I'm saying, in the damn alley in the neighborhood and dudes walking in the pond snatching out the geese, that don't mean he lying. Pay attention now. Pay attention. Yeah, the fancy. Yeah, because he had baby oil. Because as soon as you hear baby oil, you know what I'm saying, your mind start going in all these different directions. So that's why they threw that out there, that he had these 1,000 bottles of baby oil. When, I mean, honestly, as a black man, that's the first thing your mama give you to grease up with, either be baby oil or Vaseline. Hell, I'm just saying that could have just, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know why he would have it. And there's been no, they said it was 1,000 bottles in there. It could have been 10 bottles between the two properties. We don't know. That's just what they said. But that's the only part everybody's sticking on is the he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Yep. Vance Walsh debate October 1st, and we will have that right here in the same manner we have had the other two debates. He said, y'all the lies. Y'all don't even know what a woman is. Since General Hospital don't come on at 3 o'clock no more, I'll be forgetting all about General. Listen, y'all, because listen, I grew up with soap operas. Way back in the day on ABC, you had the 12:30 soap opera. What was that? Loving? Was that Loving? Yeah. Then at 1 o'clock, you had All My Children. At 2 o'clock, you had One Life to Live. At 3 o'clock, you had General Hospital. And at 4 o'clock, you had Oprah Funky Ass. Listen, so when you start getting outside them times, I'll be forgetting about. I think my daddy be peeping in on General Hospital. I don't know, but if it don't come at 3 o'clock, I'll be forgetting about it. And then I ain't really had no use since Sonny and Carly. That was pretty much what I was into on there. Lucy used to keep stuff popping off on there. Yeah. I ain't really, it ain't been popping for me since then. Like 25 Days of Christmas. They actually did not easy. He kept getting cut off. Okay. He knows nothing. Project 2025. He has denounced that so many times. It ain't even funny. Who doing something for Tito? Child, Mike Pence didn't do nothing for me, and I think that was the case for most Americans, which is why he pissed off, is he thought he was going to be vice president, and it was going, you know what I'm saying, turn it more into something else, and anybody give a shit about Mike Pence, so he's somewhere in his feelings. Yeah, child, the media be lying. Exactly. They didn't give him nothing. He took them because he would be 20, 25 seconds in. They'd be like, no, we got to move on. No, the rules were it was an hour and a half, it was 90 minutes of debate with 2 breaks. Each person had 2 minutes, and you could only answer questions asked to you by the moderators. Then after your 2 minutes, the other person got 2 minutes to rebut. But then it wasn't none of that popping off when Trump started talking. We gonna be for real. Holly said if it was baby oil, I'll just say, we got to oil up for the hacker, although it doesn't protect from back and chest slaps. I'm just saying. I mean, especially if, one house was in California and the other one was in Miami. So both of them are, places where there's a whole lot of tanning going on. And if he was partying and flying people in on the level that they were saying, I mean, the baby oil would be appropriate. I mean, that'd be the low budget way of getting a tan. But I mean, hey, skinny. Yeah, no tax on overtime. I'm cool with that. Days out. I'm like, okay, so like I wasn't like a huge follower. Like my because like I watched soap operas with my grandmother. So because as a kid, I didn't go to daycare. I stayed at her house. Well, her and my grandfather, and me, because everybody married around here. So one of my parents would drop me off on their way to work. The other one would pick me up on when they got off from work. But in daytime, I'd be at my grandparents' house. So my exposure to Days Our Lives would be if she was like, ain't nothing happening over here on all my children. Let me see what's going on. So, I mean, I pretty much knew who was who, but like Sammy was about the only one I cared about. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security. Yeah. I didn't even know y'all was getting taxed on Social Security. That's crazy. You said General Hospital was good when it was like an everyday mafia movie. Listen, because y'all Sonny used to wreak all kinds of havoc. All kinds of havoc. He calm now. He ain't doing nothing for me. Yep, they're using 2025 as a fear tactic. We understand it's a real plan, but nobody in Trump is like, I'm not dealing with that. So they are using it as a scare tactic. Because again, if I sit around and write up something and I give it to Trump, that don't mean he gonna enact it. Especially if he tell me I'm not gonna read this. How's he enacting some shit he ain't read? That don't even make no sense. Y'all need to quit playing. It takes away your right to do what? I love dogs. Please tell me what does it take away your right to do? Okay, that's what you think, but you don't know that. This is my thing. He's already been president before, and this 2025 shit, some version of it, has been floating around since the 80s. So why now? And maybe it's just me in watching these three presidential runs, and even saying what I knew about Donald Trump before. He don't look like the type of person where you gonna become telling him about what he gonna do. I'm not seeing that. Maybe y'all seeing something different, but he just don't look like the type of dude that's gonna let you come up there and tell him about what he gonna do. So hell, even if they saying they did get some time, no. Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. Have a good evening. You say the reason I voted for Trump was he had the balls to call others bluff. Kim threatened the new Trump said his butt was big. Yep. Yeah. He did. He dropped that pitch on the table. I mean, he's like, you do with that what you want, but you understand what I'm saying to you. Sometimes what's understood ain't got to be explained. It ain't got to be explained. Everybody playing these games with y'all. Trump like, I'm over this. That's how you do it. That way ain't nobody got you on camera, on no hot mic, talking about you finna do nothing. So when it pop off, you could be like, look, that's what you do. What did he do? Because again, if you have put yourself out there as a sex worker and somebody, partake of your services, then what's the problem again? What is the whole problem? What's the problem? You're a sex worker. I'll call you up and say, hey, I need your services. What's the problem? Somebody make that make sense to me. Quit talking about Cassie because he ain't on trial for none of that shit. He ain't going on trial for none of that. What else y'all got? Thank you. He done lost money running for president. Right. Exactly, Fancy. Because I'm just trying to understand how you poor, you working poor, and you got millionaires and billionaires looking you in your face, telling you, all right, well, we ain't really gonna do nothing for you. We're gonna do something for the group, for the people that's ahead of you financially. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all just be glad we doing something for them. That the middle class is not the majority of people. Let's be real. It damn sure ain't the majority of black people. So again, y'all, you know what I'm saying? But you supposed to be mad at Trump because his family had money. And they, you know what I'm saying, passed it along. But these other people telling you, yeah, we gonna help create generational wealth for the middle class, even though that ain't you ain't middle class, but we gonna hook them up, and y'all mad? None of it make no sense. That's just dumb. I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. Like, y'all need to quit playing. Exactly. They loved him until he became Republican. All of a sudden, the allegations in the exactly. And it's the crazy part. He was on Oprah when he told y'all, he was like, yeah, if I was gonna run for president, I would have to go ahead and switch to the Republican Party. He said that. And he did. I think his dad gave him what, $6 million? What's the problem? Yeah, Kelly. Mark Robinson is gonna be the next governor of North Carolina. So I need folks to go ahead and process that and do what you need to do, because that's what it's gonna be. Because the one we got ain't worth a damn. I'm just being real honest. Roy Cooper ain't worth 2 dead flies smashed. First of all, let's get back to the felon part. Fancy. The conviction is, for lack of a better term, is bogus. There's not proper jury instructions. There wasn't a unanimous verdict, and the state, based on the way the statutes are written, did not fulfill their requirement to prove exactly how he supposedly forged them documents. I love dogs. He is not. If you wait 40 years to tell it, it ain't happen. That's where I'm at with it. I don't want to hear shit about nothing that happened 40 years ago. Tell me you want justice and retribution and all that bullshit. No, you don't. Especially when you can't give me a story about what happened. This is my thing, Fancy. If Trump had all this power that they want you to believe that he, you know what I'm saying, has, why was it not more people January 6th? Because 75 million people voted for him to be president of the United States. Why wasn't it at least 10% of that 75 million at the Capitol? Since he got all this power. I have questions. Okay, we're gonna not do this. We're gonna not do this. I have questions. I'm hoping I'm in Charlotte, so I'm hoping he find his way back around here. Because I would love to talk to him. Don't tax on ammunition. Oh, I can rock with that too. Listen, I'm about to no tax. Hell, as a single woman with no kids, and literally I got to get it. If I'm gonna get it, I could use a break. Everybody getting a break except us. So yeah, Trump talking about no tax for the work that you've done. I'm with it. Cause Joe and that whole damn student loan situation, I didn't not one penny did I receive in student loan forgiveness. My sister has been working for the federal government 16 years in November, not one penny have they wiped off. Not one. Sister worked for NASA. Not one penny. I don't want to hear shit. Now, if you went to some bullshit, DeVry or ITT Tech or some bullshit like that, then yeah, he wiped all that off. But if you went to a actual university where you had to live on the yard and go to the calf and be bothered with a RA and all of that, we couldn't get nothing. So I don't want to hear not one penny. Child, she got all, yeah, she got federal loans. She keep turning in that paperwork too. I'm like, y'all might as well go ahead and take it off because child, she ain't gonna give up. Y'all might as well go ahead and take that bullshit off because she will hound you. You will be taking your last breath. She will still be there like, read these papers. I'm just trying to tell you. So yeah, y'all might as well go ahead and take that off. Future of what? Easy. Future of what? Well, I mean, that's better than nothing. Well, I mean, depends on how much you got. But I mean, hell, that's better than nothing. Mine ain't even that deep. Mine like 38,000. Like for real. Mine like 38,000. Go ahead and take that off. Because I'm single with no kids. Hell, you gonna get it back. But what future is she taking us into? This so we can be clear. What's this future? Because she ain't really told us what it looked like. That she want to take us into. But I don't think I know I can't be following somebody that can't even tell the truth about who and what they are. And ma'am, you out here talking about these so-called reproductive rights us women don't have. But if we didn't have them, then ma'am, where your kids? Where your kids at, Kamala? Since we ain't have no choice, but we ain't got no choice but to have kids, where yours at? So Joe, what, 81? What you saying? What we talking about? Yeah, we ain't talking about Epstein. We ain't even finna do that. Because again, and we need to quit putting Epstein and Diddy in the same sentence. Because didn't Epstein go down for underage children, underage people? They ain't mentioned none of that for Diddy. So we don't need to put that in the same sentence. That ain't cool. Hey Team Peterson, how are you? What'd you say? Oh, you're welcome. Just welcome to hear your take and support. Germany has the stake in the election. Every person I talk to loves Trump. Those New York convictions will all be overturned. Exactly. I'm just saying, Team Peace, and based on the statutes, the way I read them, I just used a little bit of my paralegal, you know what I'm saying, training to, actually read something. No, they didn't, because the way it's written, they have to prove, like they gotta say he did A, B, C, and D to change these documents, and that ain't what happened. So, and then the jury instructions was trash. The judge really should have recused himself, but yeah, all of that's gonna get overturned anyway. But yeah, foolishness. What you say, Shay Scott? Is she in office now? What you been doing for the past 3.5 years? This is what I'm talking about. She been talking about being unburdened by what has been and free to accept what can be or some bullshit. That's what she been doing. And working on her brisket recipe for Doug. That's what she been doing for the 3.5 years. Meanwhile, we've been out here damn struggling. That's what she doing. T. Peterson, yeah, Mr. Lawyer Extraordinaire. Email me if you get a chance. I need to run something by you, if you don't mind. Gas was cheap, food was cheap. I'm just saying, because y'all keep wanting to talk about the pandemic. I'm just speaking anecdotally. I did not have a problem purchasing anything that I needed during the lockdown portion of the quarantine. I wasn't scrambling for toilet paper because I was raised to already have that anyway. Wasn't scrambling for Lysol because my grandmother was the Lysol queen. So Lysol's everywhere. Same thing with bleach, ammonia, soap, because we was hand washing way before the CDC told y'all that's what y'all need to do to keep from catching C-19. I have never had it. I did not take the jab. I've never had it. I know how to mind my business and wash my ass. I did not. I made substantially less money at the beginning of the pandemic than I do at the present day. I did not have any trouble paying any of my bills, and I had someone living in my house with, yeah. I was able to let them stay and get themselves together. I was good. Try that today. It ain't happening. And I got a $15,000 raise. So what happened? Has Trump been gone 3.5 years? Make it make sense. I didn't have any trouble. Because even where I lived, we, you know what I'm saying, had, after things had started to ease up and whatnot, our numbers were bad. So we had an additional lockdown. So I didn't have any issues. I did not get to skip any bills. So mortgage didn't get to skip, credit cards didn't get to skip, light bill didn't get to skip, water didn't get to skip, car insurance didn't get to skip, didn't get any cheaper. I didn't get to skip anything. I was able to pay everything, take care of my mom who was in a nursing home, check on my dad who was coming off of prostate cancer surgery, and look after my grandfather who was still perfectly capable in his early 80s. So and travel. I stayed gone. So all of that, could nobody go nowhere, and wasn't no traveling, and wasn't no, I stayed gone. So what the hell was y'all doing? Because if everybody starved to death, then how we here talking about it? Child, I don't want no bathtub greens. I ain't never. I've actually helped people cater, and they ain't been washing no greens in the tub. Team Peterson, I just don't understand how that works. There was no mess for him to clean up. Joe made it worse when he put that, well, if you don't take this jab, you can't work. That was the beginning of the problems. Thank you, Team Peterson. I appreciate it. That was the beginning of the problem. Once stuff started, you know what I'm saying, to open up, he broke out with that, yeah, you can't go to work if you don't take this jab. That's when the trouble started. Prior to that, there was no trouble. So there was nothing for him to clean up. And again, we're 3.5 years in. So it took you 3.5 years to clean up 8 months of stuff. Bullshit. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. We're gonna try this again. I went on a lot of vacations. Zero tolerance. Oh yeah, plenty of them. I went to Mexico. I went to Puerto Rico. I went to Florida 7 or 8 different times. I went to Georgia. I visited my sister a couple of times in Maryland. Like, what you talking about? Was it Chicago? No, I was gone. So yeah, no, I stayed gone. Um, exactly. Plenty of people got sick after being forced to take. Yeah, but I was like, look, I was like, listen, that's why I was in here in prayer. I was like, God, if you want me to be up in there, then you'll make a way. Cause I'm telling you right now, I can't do that. It did, Jason. We went to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, um, Tampa. Yeah. Hell, me and my friend went there a couple times. We just did a tour. We just, you know what I'm saying, flew down there and got a rental car. And hell, we was crisscrossing and just riding out. We was having a good old time. So yeah, Florida was, yeah. I mean, they had, you know, little rules or whatever, but I mean, it wasn't nothing we couldn't get around. We said when Trump was president, you jumped 2 tax brackets. This is what I'm talking about, TPs. Like when I tell you that's why I decided to go back to school, honestly, because it was free. They was throwing money left and right, left and right, left and right. Energy bills going up, gas, groceries, no room to do exactly, no room to do anything extra. You talking about you trolling? Listen, what you say, Def? No, hold up, I got to go back. Too big to read for my girl Kamala. Yeah, Trump said, yeah, we got to have you like her policies. Okay. Say Trump wants to cut taxes for billionaires. Kamala wants to cut taxes for the middle class. Most people ain't middle class, so that would is that helping? So let y'all tell it. He already cut the taxes for the billionaires, and we still was out here good. So again, what's the problem? What's the again? Well, he's already done that. Let y'all tell it, and we was still good. What's the problem? And why is that the same talking point every election? Why is that? I mean, it's the same talking point. It don't be not narrow, not one syllable of difference. So again, he's already been president. What's the problem? We passed the pinnacle. Okay. He said Democrats want to add another bill, capital gain. Yeah, I'm not a hello, Autumn. I'm not a fan of that. Don't be trying to you mad because I ain't trying to, yeah. No. I'm leaving it all in there for a reason. Hell. Kamala wants to empower women to not require dudes wrap it up before they tap it. Oh, so you okay. Okay, Death Note. Literally, really. But but the okay, they ain't requiring that anyway. So how's this different? They not requiring it anyway. Supreme Court has given Trump criminal immunity, something not in the Constitution. Okay, so if they said all presidents, or did they just say Donald Trump specifically? The way I read it, it said President of United any individual acting as President of the United States. That sounds a hell of a lot different from Donald J. Trump. Okay, so even if that's true, Michael, if it end up helping you, what's the problem? I'm just asking. If him, you know what I'm saying, doing things that helps him, if it help you win, what's the problem? Again, Trump already been president. We didn't have these problems. So why would he go away? Why would he go away from that this time? I'm just asking y'all. Exactly. Any individual acting as president of the United States sounds way different from Donald J. Trump. It's a slippery slope. If we try presidents for crimes, that means we can try Obama for taking U.S. citizens without due process. Okay, okay, Michael. Because that wasn't my question. So let's be giving all presidents immunity because there was a lot of cocaine found in the Oval Office and no one got in trouble. Remember? Supreme Court took away constitutional rights to abort. Okay, well, first of all, that's not in the Constitution. And taking something away means you can't do it at all. Not you have to go through your state to get it done. That's not taking away, that's redirecting. But that was never in the Constitution because back when they wrote the Constitution, women had babies without bitching and complaining. Yeah. So they weren't worried about that shit. They didn't have them problems back then. So yeah, that was not in the Constitution. What you say, Death Note? I love when people quote a document they've never actually read, Constitution, Bible, etc. Some of they poison the cannabis. Who? Human being, who gives a shit? I had money after I paid my bills. I don't care about none of that shit because I ain't know none of his white supremacy friends. No way. And neither do you. Who gives a shit? That ain't important. We have a constitutional right to privacy. Nothing is more private. Okay, well, first of all, easy. When you was down there, when they down there at Planned Parenthood, that ain't privacy. When they filling out all their paperwork to see if Planned Parenthood's gonna pay for them to get hooked up on the hose, that ain't privacy because somebody has to track that so they can figure out how much money to give Planned Parenthood. So please stop with the fucking privacy because that shit is everything but that. What you say, Death Note? Where is that in the Constitution? Exactly. T. Peterson says all Roe versus Wade says the federal government no longer controls AB, the states control. Exactly. So that's not taken away. That's redirected. And again, Roe v. Wade started on a damn lie. Bitch was lying. Y'all seem to like to let these old Caucasian bitches lie, and decades later, y'all still don't want to go after them for nothing. Okay. Trump wants to change the Constitution as if he could. What you say, Shay Scott, brainwashing these woke college students and other women to vote for the first woman president, and she's a color. She actually is. Yeah, she ain't black. First of all, what is she? Indian, South Asian, and Hindu. That's what she is. But interestingly enough, Shay Sky, these young folk ain't falling for it. The ones that I talk to, they ain't falling for it. Oh, what's going on, MC? I almost missed you. How you doing? The government should not be in the business of prosecuting pregnant women. Who getting prosecuted? Who got prosecuted for being pregnant? I need to see that. Who got prosecuted for being pregnant? I need to see about that. And by the time you get charged with the crime, and then from the time you get charged to the crime to when you actually go to trial, only an elephant stay pregnant that long. Come on now. You say, Tom, and I want to see a woman president too, but not. Why does it matter whether we got a woman president or not? Because if you look at the rest of the world, they don't deal with women in that manner. So having a woman president ain't really gonna do shit for us because we ain't gonna be able to get nothing done because ain't nobody gonna talk to no woman. That's just what it is. Y'all ain't gotta like it, but that's what it is. Go to another state. Better yet, stop hunching. Learn to swallow. Use that plan B. I'll get you a calendar. I'm trying to tell you. Amen, Team Peterson. Amen. Yeah, Billy Free. Yeah. I mean, her daddy Hindu. I don't know what y'all want me to tell you. He's South Asian, Hindu, and something else. Born in Jamaica. That don't make you black. That's good, MC. Good to hear that. Who should make the decision of abortion? The women. Okay, so the woman and the doctor can make that decision. You just need to go to a state that's going to allow you to do so. Y'all like to do all this traveling and got all this money for travel and everybody balling, then you ought to be able to, you know what I'm saying, take a 250-mile road trip to handle your damn business. What's the problem? I've driven longer to buy shoes. Let's stop playing. Yeah, no African blood at all. Irish. Okay, yeah, Hindu. I knew it was something else I was missing, MC. So yeah, he Hindu, Southeast Asian, and damn Irish. None of that translates to black. And I'm Mama Indian. Where's black again? I missed it. So hell, if y'all hype about a black woman president, y'all need to call me. 14 states have a total abortion ban. Well, it's 51 that make up United States of America. So you only got 14 you can't go to? That leaves what? 37? Child, quit playing. Goodbye. Goodbye. So you got 37 states you could go to get hooked up, get your ass scraped out and hooked up to a hose. I don't feel bad for you. Find one of them 37 and do what you need to do since you couldn't, you know what I'm saying, make better decisions while you had your clothes on. What you say, Death Note? Do you agree that a man should be able to financially abort a child if the mother can't do it physically? They don't ever want to answer that. Okay, is it okay for Trump to call vets losers? He said that, and I mean, yeah, if that's how he see it, because again, you must have not been on here. You don't get undying loyalty and respect for me because you was in the military. That ain't how I was raised. So, I mean, hell, if that was your only option because you couldn't do nothing else, and then you got it there and they do shit with it, then he might have a valid point. But again, that's how he's seeing it. So, who will be to tell him what he's seeing wrong? So much she lying about everything else. So I mean, listen. You say, Pamela, some people just don't want to see the truth in the Bible. God had a woman named Deborah judge so what wrong with God's plan? Exactly, Carol. You willing to fight to the death and hang everything in your life on some shit you don't have to get done. The only reason you would need an abortion is because you're pregnant and don't want to be pregnant no more. But you cannot get pregnant. Travel to the gym, mall, and you still have Guam, American Samoa, Northern Marina Island. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You got 37 places you can go get that done. I don't want to hear it. He said, I don't want to hear that blackity black bullshit from these cam supporters. Yes, if you talking about you want some black people, yes, Dr. Cornel West is running for president. So y'all want to be voting for black people? There you go. Vote for a black man. I'm tired of having this conversation and we cannot include black men. I'm over it. Ain't nothing better than a black man. He said position is most center. Okay. I don't understand it either. Suckers and Losers statement was debunked. You won't find a single clip of it. Thank you, Death Note. But again, if he said that, that's his damn opinion. Plan B should not be free because, again, you do not have to put yourself in a situation to need it. Condoms is free. That's enough. Exactly. Haven't heard a peep out of the Negroes about supporting him. Exactly. Exactly. Y'all talking about y'all want all this black representation. He said closing of legs is already free. These are facts. These are facts, Death Note. These are absolute facts. Because I'm just here to tell you, I'm 46. I'm no virgin, but I can tell you about not getting pregnant. Tell you all about it. What you need to know? Trump has mega people brainwashed. If he said the world was square, MAGA would believe him. Okay, why can't you separate MAGA from Donald Trump? Because he said make America great again, and a group of radicals, or some that people perceive radicals, took that and ran with it. That's not his fault. They was looking for a mantra, and they jumped on his. That don't mean he out here, you know what I'm saying, stoking and pouring fire gas on the fire. Shut up. Free prevention, yes, free prevention. It's all right there for you. Poor Janet. They had raked her over the coals because she said, we love Janet over here because Janet don't bother nobody. Janet be over there with her baby. And she come over here, you know what I'm saying, and bless us with her presence, you know what I'm saying, when she come on tour. And then Janet gonna be about her life. Janet don't bother nobody. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this right here. What you say, Eric? 37 forms of birth. It is. Ain't no excuse. Ain't no excuse. And that's just, you know what I'm saying. Y'all just want to be out here and act like, you know what I'm saying, actions don't have no consequences. Shit. Actions got consequences. So y'all need to figure out what y'all want to do. Quit doing stuff. Know what you know what the outcome gonna be before you even get caught up in that. Quit hoping and wishing he gonna act right. He wasn't acting right before. That wasn't your man before. You knew that was Sheila husband over there. So I don't want to hear nothing about all of that. You and him need to figure out how you gonna get to one of them 37, or you and him need to figure out how y'all gonna tell Sheila about what y'all been doing. But either way, it's coming out. Hold on, what you say? Say this lets you know that whole FBA thing is bull because Cam is a tether and Dr. West also fought for our rights. Yeah, true. Not all sex is consensual and not all consensual sex. What? And what? Not all sex is consensual and not all consensual sex is consensual. Okay. And we understand that. And if you look at the statistics, the percentage of women who are violated to get pregnant is, yeah. I just had this conversation the other day and just met the first one who, you know what I'm saying, was in that situation. And I've been having these conversations for years. So we're not going to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying, every time you turn around, a woman's getting, you know what I'm saying, drug off somewhere, violated, because that ain't what's happening. And then even my thing, Eric, if you look at them three exceptions, you're saying great that we just talked about. Just because you say that's what happened, don't mean that's what happened, because we all know that bitches be lying. So if you don't take the you need to go through the whole process, reporting, grape kit, you know what I'm saying, giving your statement, therapy, all of that. If you ain't doing all of that, we ain't giving you nothing. The incest, same situation. We need to know about what's going on. We need to investigate. That whole life of the mother, that for me, if just being pregnant is gonna kill you, you ain't got to get pregnant to know that. And if you in a situation where, you know what I'm saying, usually when we get into this life of the mother shit, and that's really what's going on, they be 7, 8, 8.5, or hell, be in damn labor when this shit come up. So at this point, you can save both of them. You ain't got to let one go to save the other one. Just get it out. And then once you get it out, go from there. But now if you done some goofy shit, like went up in there with a coat hanging and all that kind of bullshit, and you 7 months along, I ain't fucking with you. That ain't life for the mother, bitch. You gonna have to suffer because you did that. That's just, if you come see me, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, good night, Michael, because you ain't really saying that. Just child, just okay, Justin, you a grown ass man that just had a baby. Why you want to talk now? If you had so much to say, you should have been talking. Wait, see, I'm talking about all this waiting all these years to talk. I don't have no respect for that. I don't have no respect for that. Because if you violate me, I ain't gonna be quiet. I'm telling it all. I'm telling everybody who's gonna listen. Because people who really been violated ain't the same after that. I don't give a shit what you do. They can, you know what I'm saying, go to therapy, you know what I'm saying, and you know, try to work through it and all that, but they ain't never the same. It never leaves them. They're always affected in some kind of way. So I don't give a shit how much money you give them, that shit don't go away. So I don't want to hear nothing about no check. Money don't fix that. Y'all bitches is greedy. You did it. You didn't get what you thought you was gonna get. Your feelings is hurt. You don't want nobody to know what you did. So now you come up with this, I was violated, I need to check bullshit. But channel membership holders, we gonna have a conversation about that. Because like I said, that ain't for everybody. We gonna have a conversation about that. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna get that scheduled. I gotta see what's going on. I didn't say he ain't been affected by it, but my thing is, what the hell y'all over there silent for? The first step in trying to get your shit together is get that weight off of you, which means tell it. So I got a psych degree though, but let's not do this. First thing you gotta do is tell it. But how do we know what he gonna say? He could get in there and be like, man, he ain't forced nobody to do nothing. Everybody was there, they on free will. We don't, if he go in there and say something, we don't know what the hell Justin gonna say. You don't know what he gonna say. He could get up. Hell, they ain't even scheduled no damn court dates. So yeah, nah. Probably not. So that would be another reason to be real selective about when you get pregnant. So you just admitted that you're saying Democrats, they take care of these kids to keep you dependent. Thank you. Appreciate it. Who get threatened? Okay. I need y'all. We talking about this Diddy situation because I'm finna wrap this up. This is what I need y'all to understand. We in the United States of America. And while we all free, some of us is way more free than the others. And with that being said, we black in America, so we ain't forgot what the fuck been done to us. Let's be real clear about that. So if y'all really think that Diddy is the damn king and the emperor of all this shit that's going on, y'all crazy as hell. They'll never get a black man that kind of power. Let's be for real. So with that being said, and Diddy ain't the ringleader of this shit, and you ain't been talking because you've been scared. Hell, unless they got the damn ringleader in there with Diddy, you should still be scared because they're coming after your goofy ass. So this whole ain't scared is bullshit. It's bullshit. That's just like, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, small, you know what I'm saying, small time, you know what I'm saying, nickel and diamond on the DRUGS, and I know Michael Corleone out here looking for my ass. I'm gonna be real quiet. When he served up Fredo, when Fredo go on trial, I don't know shit. Because whether you convict Fredo or not, I know I don't need to piss Michael off. So what y'all talking about? We ain't doing that. Because if they was that good of friends, he'd be in prison. Epstein dead. Trump still out here walking around. So what y'all saying? Okay, well again, Bieber, why you just not talking? Why you just not talking? I have a problem with it. I have a problem with that. I wasn't feeling Cassie when she came out with her bullshit. I don't care how many videos y'all put out. I don't care. Cause hell, her ass could have got away if she wasn't trying to drag all that shit with her. But you was interested in the life. So you was willing to take them ass whoopings. I done plenty of videos on this, so this ain't nothing new. Go back and listen. So she wasn't no victim in my book, so I didn't give a fuck about her. And none of them other ones, because we, again, on this channel, we went through them lawsuits. They was all bullshit. People, because I work with people who really been violated. They not, no, they don't move like that. Hoes who got played, dude. I'm gonna put it like this, Dover. The way that's written up, no. Diddy's done some shit. Go get him for that. Don't make this bullshit up. Because why is everybody involved in this shit a woman? The only man we saw involved in any of this shit was the dude that did the press, Mr. Williams, that did the press conference. Everybody else in this shit is a woman. New York, the only state who cooked up these damn laws in the last 5 years to even be trying to try him on this bullshit. This is some of that Me Too shit. This ain't it. It's plenty of stuff Diddy has done. Go get him on that. But again, I got to circle back to Dr. Umar. This is a distraction. This is a whole distraction. A whole distraction. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. All right, y'all. We are approaching the 11 o'clock hour. Aubrey, what Aubrey say that's new? Because Aubrey been telling y'all he wasn't shit, but wasn't nobody listening to her. So again, Aubrey, while they was still in making the band, was telling y'all he wasn't shit, but didn't nobody want to listen to her. I like Aubrey. So hell, if y'all had been listening back then, maybe we'd be in a different situation. But again, get him on what he really did. Don't make up no shit. We said this is just a way to redistribute wealth from rich men. Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, he has done plenty of stuff. Let's go talk about that. Don't make up nothing. Because that's what this looked like. Y'all just made up a bunch of stuff. Because again, so if he was doing all this, because again, to me, trafficking, you being taken against your will. That's how I'm feeling about that. Because they keep changing the definition. Like, you know what I'm saying? You walking home from school and you get snatched up, and the next thing you know what I'm saying, in the back of a truck on your way to the airport. For me, that's trafficking. Not, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I found you on the internet. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to hire you, you know what I'm saying, to come to my freak off or whatever for a couple of days. I'm gonna cover your, you know what I'm saying, your travel and your accommodations. That ain't trafficking in my book. That to me, that's you were hired to do a job and you went to do it. What the hell are you talking about? That's yeah. Well, you there against your will. Not I'm trying to get into the industry and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to, you know what I'm saying, be seen. And then when it don't work out, I'm gonna say you made me do all of this shit. That ain't trafficking. That's just me. Cause y'all, all of them ended up over there. They on free will. He didn't knock nobody in their head and drag them off over there. And again, you talking about some shit happened back in 2009. We in damn 2024. I don't want to hear it. And we still don't know who the hell you are. So obviously your product wasn't no good. Okay, Dover, that's what I'm trying to hear, because I ain't read nothing about no underage girls. Now, hell, that now we can talk. But I ain't. That's just been speculation. I didn't read nothing in that indictment about nobody being underage. These football games done got out of hand. So yeah, now that's something different, but that ain't what that man said in that press conference. I streamed it. Y'all need to go back and watch. Renee. Okay. You know, okay. But again, like I say in Teen Pizza, I didn't read anything in that indictment about anybody being underage. Maybe I need to go back and look at it again, and I can definitely do that. But and then in the press conference, they didn't even mention males. Everything was about I'm telling you, the whole shit was about females. I did read the indictment, Dover. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I ain't see shit in there about no underage. But I'm gonna go back and read it again. Okay, E equals MC. We got it. But yeah, we can go back through it, but I didn't read that. All right, y'all. Yeah, we are rolling through the 11 o'clock hour. Well, unless you grow it yourself, E equals MC and Dover. What you gonna eat? Because pretty much everything we stick in our mouth is manipulated in some manner. That's why it's important to know how to grow food. There were no mention of underage people just being forced to take drugs and having, yep, exactly. And then again, my thing is this right here. Who in the hell didn't know if you go over to Diddy house, you coming up out your drawers was going to be expected? So again, can we really say this is against their will? Hell, I'm not even in the industry, and I got enough sense to know that hell, if damn Neo come over here and knock on this damn door and be like, "Look, we gonna be partying uptown at the Ritz, you coming through?" He gonna be looking for me to fuck. I already know this. This is common sense. Like, I'm just confused. What we doing? I like y'all need to quit playing. So you trying to get in the industry and you got no idea how it works. This is what y'all want me to believe. Okay. Maybe that's why you're not in the industry. That is, come on. Seriously. Listen, men, they're making it hard for y'all. And it's don't fly nobody out, because I mean that's always been low budget prostitution anyway. Because Because the two people, you know what I'm saying, really trying to see each other, really trying to get to know each other and kick it, they're not gonna meet for the first time. And one person is completely, you know what I'm saying, with no protections. You're gonna meet in neutral ground. You're gonna meet in neutral ground. Like, let's quit playing. So you sit up here and you talking to this man, and y'all DMing, and you sending, you know what I'm saying, titty pics, and he's sending dick pics, and he like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and send you this money for this ticket. Come see me. You know he wanna fuck. Let's stop playing. As soon as you agree to go, you done told him we gonna fuck. So you basically done prostituted yourself. So shit, we be locking you up for all this interstate trafficking. Since we got Diddy up here cooling his heels, shouldn't you be going to? I'm just saying, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Because women is out here prostituting. They ain't calling it prostituting, but it's prostituting. I don't care what you call it. It's all the same thing. Getting flued out is prostituting. Like, unless you got some kind of clear-cut understanding, agreement, but then again, you're gonna meet for the first time on neutral ground. She's asking people at all is a crime. I don't know about that, but I can see where you're going with that. But yeah, so as soon as you start engaging in them conversations, you set your damn price. Your price was the damn ticket. Low budget ass prostitutes anyway. Why don't y'all just call Heidi Flights? Hell, them girls getting top dollar and make their own rules. Man, just call Heidi, because these bras out here, y'all gonna mess around and be somewhere like Diddy. Shit, just let it go. Let it go. Because like I said, he has done so much other dirt. Why y'all gonna let all of that slide and then make up something? But you know what, that I can see that, Carson. That would make sense. But like, let's say I'm in North Carolina, right? And let's say, you know what I'm saying, I got a friend who, you know what I'm saying, is in the music industry in California, and I go visit them, and let's say he, you know what I'm saying, doing some mixing for the weekend. And I'll go with him to the studio, you know what I'm saying, it's the middle of the night, you know what I'm saying, we thinking ain't nobody there, and he, you know, doing what he need to do, in the weekend show up. And we get to laughing, and he talk about, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have some people over, you know what I'm saying, come through. Come through now? Yeah. I'll go over there, you know what I'm saying, and though nothing really happened, you know, we talk, whatnot. I come on back home to North Carolina, and you know what I'm saying, he hit me up one day and was like, you know, you was cool people, you know, I want to get to know you better, you know, yada 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 yee. I'm gonna go ahead, my manager gonna call you, gonna make some arrangements, you come out, we can't try to fuck. If I go, that's what it is. If I don't, then I ain't gotta worry about that. But the minute I, you know what I'm saying, pick up the phone and start, you know what I'm saying, going through this with his manager, I have literally prostituted myself out for the cost of kicking it in damn California. Let's be real about that. Yeah, this could be my opportunity to get on. I'll go out there, get a weekend all my coochie, and he sent me back to North Carolina, and then I get pissed off. He violated me. He made me woo. Because I'm feeling some type of way. We have to quit excusing this foolishness. These women ain't victims. If we supposed to be so strong and empowered and all of this bullshit, like Kamala and Oprah and all you motherfuckers talking about, then you knew what it was when you went over there. Now, I'm gonna be real. If the weekend call me, I'm gonna have to go over there because I've been trying to see what's popping. But I'm going because that's what I want to do. And then I might come back and tell y'all all about it. But that's what I wanted to do. I'm clear about that. I'm gonna be real clear when I knock on the door and I ain't got no drawers on. I'm gonna be real clear because I was clear when I took them off at the airport. Like, come on, y'all, quit playing. This man sitting up in. I mean, again, he been dirty. Lock him up for something he really did, not because these bitches got in their feelings. That's all I'm saying. You say flip flop, the flip flap. This is what I'm saying. You got me too. Oh Lord, you got suspended for 3 days. See, I don't have no time. Yeah, and this is the thing. I've seen women do this nonsense. Like this one guy I worked with. Like I literally had. I was like, this man was literally about to be arrested because she said did something to her at the job when that ain't what happened. She literally drugged him into the mother's lactation room, and they got it in. But because he wouldn't break up with his girlfriend, then she wanted to talk about he violated her up and down. I was like, nah, I got to tell it. That ain't what happened. These chicks will lie. I mean, she was crying and the whole, like she was on some of that Brandy Webb and Thin Line type of time. Hair all messed up. But I'm like, that's when y'all was getting it in. We ain't finna do this. She took pictures. So you had in your mind he didn't do what you wanted him to do, just as the road you was gonna go down. I was like, no, y'all need to check that phone. I said, y'all the police. Well, I got to tell y'all how to investigate. You look at them pictures were from the same day that it happened. And he was already gone. You still think Obama wasn't born in America? Well, I mean, technically, Hawaii, I mean, you have to like go over there. So, I mean, it's a U.S. territory, but I get what you mean. This is what I'm saying. It's plenty of stuff that could be getting puff on. Don't make up nothing. Plenty of stuff. Okay. What's that got to do with anything? But again, like if all of this indictment was from like, I would even say from like 2020 to the present day, I'll go along with that. But you talking about some bullshit back in 2004, I don't want to hear about that. That was 20 years ago. I don't want to hear that. I was barely legal then. I don't want to hear that. For people we heard nothing from. Okay, Corbin, that's most unfortunate. Well, Trump told y'all, he said, you know, that's a shame. What's going on out there? It's a shame, but he said he going. So we gonna see. He said he going to Springfield and surrounding areas to see what's popping. So if he go, hopefully he'll take some cameras and we'll be able to see what's going on. Child, he robbed everybody. Let's just be for real. He's worse than Babyface. He's worse than Babyface. He was keeping everybody money. Because if you look at it, Diddy wasn't even relevant. Like, wasn't nobody checking for him before this Cassie shit? He ain't releasing ain't no bad boy is basically defunct. All the artists gone. Like Diddy wasn't doing nothing. He was not relevant. And here y'all come with this. Diddy wasn't relevant, none at all. Care nothing about him. Folks was buying Ciroc. I wasn't understanding because I drank a whole bottle and didn't feel nothing. I was just confused. Like hell, if y'all like this because it's sweet. I'm like, nah, y'all try. Let me stick with this Grey Goose. It's over there, Belvedere or something. I was like, this Ciroc ain't getting it. This ain't getting it. This is not quality vodka. I'm just saying. Cause that's what y'all was interested in. That was all we was hearing from him. And then boom, all of a sudden, here come this Cassie lawsuit bullshit. And she had been arguing with him for 3 years to get some damn money. So what that tell you? You gonna argue with somebody for 3 years to get some money that supposedly violated you? Did he whoop her ass? Yep. Was she okay with it? Yep. Did she continuously put herself in a position to be treated in that manner? Yep. So none of that to me equals victimhood. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Can you slap the hell out of me? Nope. Have folk tried? Not really. Not no man. Let me put it like that. This is what happened. I mean, that's real though. You tell for folks don't have no guidance in their life. Cassie, where was your dad when all this bullshit was going on? Because Diddy could have told my daddy nothing. Not nothing. She was 17 when she met you, child. Diddy couldn't have told my daddy shit. Okay? So this is what we don't have no guidance. I'm telling you, they know who to go get. They know who to go get. So again, Cassie, you sold your self-respect for the lifestyle. Because again, if you go back, I ain't gonna play it because y'all YouTube age restricted that damn live stream because I showed the video. If she hadn't been trying to carry all that shit, she might have been able to get away. Cause now, like I said in the live stream back then, if you go back and look at what's love got to do with it, Tina didn't have a whole bunch of shit when she left. She left all that shit in there with Ike. Tina was gone. Tina ran up out that hotel, crossed both sides of I-5 in LA, and got over there to that damn red roof. She said, I got 36 cents in a mobile gas card. That's all Tina had on her. Tina didn't show up with no 4 bags of luggage, no damn shoes. Tina didn't have none of that. Tina wig wasn't even on good. They actually interviewed the man who owned the hotel who Tina talked to when she got over there. He said Tina wig wasn't even on right. Listen, Cassie, leave all that shit in there if you're really about getting free. Make it real dramatic. Y'all on that foolishness. I'm just saying. This is what I'm saying. She could have cut a whole monkey down there in that lobby when it was time to go. She had opportunity, and then if you go back and read that lawsuit, it was periods of time where they wasn't together. You didn't have to go, you kept going back. This is not a victim. Yo, I heard about that MC. Child, Judge Joe was telling everything. He was like, I'm telling you about what I saw with my own eyes. I said, oh, Joe was telling it all. So yeah, she's no victim. She can come over here right now, tell it to her face, you're not a victim. Y'all need to quit going along with this bullshit. Cause they in a different lot in life, or they got more money than you, or they, you know what I'm saying, getting some attention. That don't mean what people say about them true. But again, it's other shit we can prove he did. Go after him for that. But we ain't supposed to be over here talk about Diddy, because I'm not a fan of his at all. I think he has something to do with having Biggie and Tupac. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I ain't no love lost. I'm just saying, if you know what I'm saying, incarcerate people and ruin their life, then make sure it's for something they really did. Now I ain't never been to no dog track. Speaking of dogs, Michael Vick, prime example. Prime example. Michael, he went to dog fights. He wasn't fighting the dogs. He was just taking care of the people who was fighting the dogs. That's different from fighting the dogs your damn self. Now, if y'all want to take Michael Vick down, then go after him for something he really did. Don't create no bullshit. And then since you're supposed to be about the, you're saying the preservation of the animals and their protection and all that, you let the very motherfuckers who's actually fighting the dogs off in exchange for testimony against Michael Vick. Y'all full of shit, but y'all bought that. Y'all bought that shit hook, line, and sinker. You get on and say you locking up people for you know what I'm saying, harming animals, and then you turn around and let the same people you got on video who actually raising, training, and fighting the dogs off to testify against somebody else who you don't have any video of them. You have video of them watching the dog fight, but you don't have any video of them raising, training, or actually fighting these animals. But you let the people who actually, but he was the bigger name. And anybody knows how all of that shit popped off right after he signed that damn at the time record NFL deal? And them all them little white boys all over Atlanta was down there bounding his feet. Now all of a sudden he got to go down for fighting dogs in a whole different state. Y'all miss me with the foolishness. You see, they used to perform here while on the Chitlin Circus. She jumped on Ike at a club out here because chicks was all over him. Listen, MC, my grandparents, like, yeah, because the Chitlin Circus. So we had like a club here or whatever. And my grandma was like, yeah, I saw her slap the shit out of Ike. I was like, well, damn. Yeah, that was like, yeah, Tina used to set it all the way off. He used to set it off. She used to set it all the way off. So yeah, but then you're saying came out with that story and and did all of that damage to Ike's reputation. But it is what it is. But y'all just got to quit. Stop falling for the foolishness and quit being emotional and calling it thought, and actually look at what's going on. Look at what's being presented to you. Because half the time they don't even try to cover up the holes in the story. They just keep telling you and telling, oh, just like with the baby oil. Who cares about the baby oil? Who cares? Because those of us who grown, we know that the baby oil is not serving the purpose that they want you to think it's serving in this scenario. You said the elder told me that story 3 different times over the years and never changed one line of it. Yo, you ain't got it when it's the truth. It's what it is. But yeah, when Judge Joe, when he was telling the stories he was telling, he was talking about one time he was over at their house or whatnot, and Tina was got mad and picked up a chair and hit Ike in the back. So, child, ain't no telling. What you say? What's up with Janet? Okay, so people mad at Janet because Janet was giving an interview and they was asking her, you know, saying what she thought about the presidential election. And specifically what she thought about, you know what I'm saying, Kamala Harris. And she was like, well, I really don't know much about her, but from what I understand, it's been some controversy about her being black. But from what I know, in her dad white, and folks done lost their mind. And so now these folks is up here talking about canceling Janet over a chick that ain't even who y'all want her to be. Like, yeah. I mean, Janet family is like black royalty. And you trying to cancel Janet over a bitch that ain't even black? Like, are y'all for real? Negroes is too much. They too much. So that's where we up with Janet. What is this? Yeah, we ain't gonna be. Yeah, I'm not for no Janet disrespect. Mm-mm. Ain't for no Janet disrespect. Like I said, Janet don't bother nobody. Janet don't bother nobody. Exactly. We stand with Janet. We stand with Janet, honey. Mm. All right, y'all. I'm ready to go because I just got bit by a mosquito. I gotta figure out where it is. Um, but I have enjoyed chatting with y'all. Um, we will be back at it tomorrow. We have hell is he gonna be tomorrow? We had Donald Trump in Savannah. It's gonna be interesting. Savannah. That should be about 1:30 or so. So we will have that. From what I understand, he may be having a press conference before the rally. I guess we'll find out in the morning. If that's the case, then we will have both. You guys take care, stay safe. Um, don't get in no trouble. Don't end up like Diddy. Thank you for all of your support, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.